Welcome into the Cam and Strick podcast, episode number 209.
Yeah.
Yoink.
Yoink. No, Andy's posted a picture on Twitter of all the beer cans. Well, I didn't drink all those today. I had a couple.
Well,
it is what it is.
You're letting it pile up, dude. You need to clean up.
Well, I'll clean the goddamn thing. I'll clean the damn thing. My bad on that.
I tell Cam what to do on a number of different things, including, you got to clean up the office.
Man, sorry, they've collected a little bit. We've been here a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We just had Barry Trotz on. He was great.
He's the best.
He is fucking awesome. And like, you could tell, like, as a coach, like, he seems really cool. Like, you could talk to him. Like, if you needed to go in his office, he'd be able. Like, you see straight with him. I don't know.
I need him.
I don't know.
In a loud market. Don't confuse that as being the Canadian market. I don't need to see him get run down or anything, or people just down his throat, being hardcore on Barry Trotz. But I'm glad he didn't go to Winnipeg. I will say that. And I like Winnipeg. Don't take it wrong. All the people out there in Winnipeg.
Piss at me.
I know they do. I know they. It's very nice there.
I'm sorry.
People I know that are from Winnipeg.
Well, it's not nice in the wintertime.
Very nice people.
Yeah, but it's not nice in the wintertime.
Well, who says that? What do you mean? Because it's too cold for you?
Well, it is cold.
All I'm saying is...
here's my point then, Andy.
I just want Barry is all I'm saying. Okay. And I don't want him to be, buried in Winnipeg.
With the snow, the 10-foot snow walls. I mean,
and no one really talks about one. I mean, they do in Canada.
But if you had the players rate the places they would want to play, where do you think Winnipeg would be?
I bet you last.
Where do you think it'd be, Andy? Like,
last.
Honestly, if the players, not the fans, the players, where would you want to play the most? Where would you want to play the least? And you can't pick your fucking team you're playing for. Where do you think Winnipeg
And I'm not
sit?
saying it's a terrible place to play.
The people are fucking awesome.
Listen, I've talked to Paul Stastny and some of these
other.
They enjoy playing in Winnipeg. Alexander Steen loves Winnipeg.
That's not the point.
Ryan Reeves loves Winnipeg. His dad played in the CFL back in the day.
Yeah, I know. But that's not the point.
So, listen, I'm not saying it's a terrible place.
No.
But if you gave players the option, I bet you it comes dead last, man.
You think dead last?
Yeah. Where do you think comes last? Arizona, because they play in
fucking Arizona. And that's hey, look, I'm American through and through.
They play in
they play in front of children.
The community center.
They play in a YMCA. It's fucking
they haven't had a game
embarrassing.
They haven't had a game.
I don't give a shit. It's embarrassing. Winnipeg is Arizona's the number one worst place to play, in my opinion. Yeah, you get to play golf. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm talking about players. No one knows you. You're playing in front of 4,200 people. Children buy one, get one for free.
You think they're tanking?
I hope so. Go get that Connor kid.
Should you be allowed to tank?
Well, it doesn't matter because there's a lottery. So you could tank all you want.
There's no
guarantee. And still be fucking
third
or 10th, right? Can't you?
I don't know how far you can move down. I think no more than
it's
four
a percentage.
spots or
No, but I think
like
it's
that.
Oh, really?
Something like that.
I don't know. I don't even watch it.
I think if you have the best odds, I don't think you can pick worse than like fourth or fifth.
Okay, and that makes sense. But fourth,
but it's not a guarantee.
You're not getting Connor.
But some teams, I just feel like don't even try to win.
That's baseball.
Well, it is, but
that's baseball.
You think Arizona's trying to win?
Yeah, I think those guys are trying their ass off.
The players are.
Yeah.
Well, the baseball players, they try to win too. They go out there and compete.
I think now.
I'm just talking about the team. Are they truly putting out a product that, they know they have no chance to win?
Yeah.
And they're doing it with a purpose, with a plan in place of we are going to suck as bad as you possibly can suck for now. And then we're going to get all these draft picks, and by the time we get to 2025 or so, we're going to be ready to compete.
Will they have a new rink?
I don't know. There's no guarantee they're going to have a new rink. They may play in a smaller stadium.
My God. That's the number one pick.
We're going to downsize.
So all you Canadians up in Winnipeg and Ottawa, they kind of got mad at me for saying...
Who got mad at you?
A couple people, and I get it, man. And I don't want to.
What did you say?
I don't know.
Don't be making the Canadians
mad.
No,
no shit.
We love the Canadians.
I said, we were talking to Colton Parayko, and we're like, which place don't you like to play? And he's like, well, I don't like Ottawa that much. We started laughing. He's like, stop laughing at the people in Ottawa are great. The city's great. I go, no, I know it is. It's not about the city. It's about the experience. It's about the rink and where people stay. And I'm talking about the players. And again, if you rated the places the players want to play, Ottawa would be down in the bottom part. It's just that
they
simple.
Would compete with Winnipeg. Hey, the Winnipeg fans are great.
They're awesome.
They pack the house.
Canadians are awesome no matter what. Canadian fans are awesome. It's the fucking setup. Even in downtown Ottawa's badass. Girls cruising around, damn right. The players aren't going to downtown Ottawa because your fucking rink is way out there. That's the difference.
Dude,
That's why I love Aya. I love Aya.
Why you're eating the beef stick while you're doing the show?
Oh, that
from First Farm.
Getting jacked, motherfucker.
It's like a high protein. Like, what is that? Like, you feel yourself.
Yeah, I'm
getting
horny
stronger?
now.
Oh, is that what happens?
I know. Even with you two swinging dicks in this tight little fucking place, this little dump with all my beer
This
cans.
little
Jesus.
We love it here.
We do, yeah.
It kind of fits our style, dude. We don't need anything.
Blue collar.
Yeah, we're blue collar, man.
Collar, yeah.
We don't need anything.
We don't really live
that
blue
nice.
collar, but we are blue collar. We chill. What'd you do all weekend, homie?
Oh, dude, did a bunch of stuff actually. I had a busy.
Anything cool?
Well, I kind of had a busy kids weekend. I got to be honest with you.
then-
My brother's
then
in
no.
town from Utah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we got a lot of this, like stuff like that. I had the fire going on. It was an incredible night. Saturday night
beautiful weekend
was the
of
most
the year.
beautiful night. It got a little warm during the daytime,
Yeah, but it was windy.
but it was windy.
That's awesome.
The nighttime wind combined with like just the sky.
How about the trees out here,
The
man?
trees are all
Oh,
changing colors.
It looks Halloweeny. The wind, like it's so beautiful. I got up in the morning. I get up on the weekends and I just like go. I got a gas station early. I drive by my buddy's house. I bang on the horn and wake their family up on the way to. Sometimes I'll just go to McDonald's and just get McDonald's just to get away. I'll jam out to music, and I'll just look at because
It sounds healthy.
no, but I'll
No, it
cruise.
sounds real healthy.
Well,
McDonald's and Chew, is
I don't
that your
give
breakfast?
Yeah, on Saturday because we partied all night and I need something in my system and I didn't want to cook anything, so I'm like, I'm going to McDonald's. And it's just a cute drive. I'm way out in the middle of the woods. I go these back roads to Eureka McDonald's. It's an easy little trip. No one's behind me. I gotta watch out to hit cyclists though because these goddamn cyclists want to ride their fucking bike on there's no sidewalk, there's no edges of the road. It's just they're on the road and there's turns and it's like a suey watch for them. I don't know why they do it. So you got to watch out for them. But that's my chill time. And the leaves and this weekend in St. Louis probably was the most beautiful weekend of the year.
Yeah. We played against a team from Eureka though this past weekend. Wonderful people, and it was a hell of a game. Cam, I got to see where you.
So
come
we just,
from.
I'm not gonna lie to you. We just edited out a part where Andy goes and said that he played a team and some of the parents were saying stupid things. And this came out of the blue and he kind of lumped it and looked at me like I had something to do with that. Like I have nothing to do with anything. I don't even live in Eureka anymore just because I was like grew up there. So Andy lumped me into this whole fucking
I'm
thing.
not trying to lump
Like,
you.
what's wrong
I
with
was
you?
just saying that there was something that went down, and I was reading the report. But I don't want to like lump every because this is not like an indication of what everybody from Eureka is like. Is that not
Thank
at all?
you.
In fact, I'm coaching with a guy right now who went to your high school. He's a great guy.
Who?
I'll look at his
Yeah,
name.
great
We don't
guy.
need to say.
You don't even
But,
fucking know
you know,
his
he
name.
he went to your high school and he graduated with.
Don't
K.
even edit that out. You don't even remember the guy. Great guy. Don't even know his name.
He is. He said you were very nerdy
Oh yeah.
back in high
Big
school.
time. Big time
So
nerd.
owned
I
your
was that-
show.
I was that nerd professional guy.
I think he dated your wife maybe for a little.
What?
Just saying,
The
Dave,
fuck are
he
you talking-
might have. I don't know. I don't know.
What's his name?
I don't know. I'm just telling you what may have happened.
So everybody, so now you're talking about. So this is what Andy does.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's
You're-
what kind of
you're
what you just said.
Taking it as that.
You're saying like that's
I'm
ridiculous.
saying I've met several great people from Eureka. This is not a parent who coached against us.
So who's this dude that?
What I'm getting
what are you
at.
talking
What I'm
about?
getting at is. Let me just say this, Cam. This is what I'm getting at. Some of these.
What are you getting at?
These soccer parents are crazy. Any parent at the youth level that goes to a game and gets tossed, there's something wrong with you. There is something that's not right.
Now I'm curious.
Mm.
Who's this motherfucker you're talking about? Who are you talking about? Said I dated Cam's. So you're talking about me in
I'll
a
have
comment.
to look
and
it
so
up.
he go. What did he say? He goes, I dated Cam's wife.
Oh, he didn't say that.
What did he say then?
No, he said he went to school with Kate's wife, or Cam's wife, same grade as Kate.
So they went to
and-
school together.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you insinuated that
And
they
you were
dated.
a year
though.
younger. I was joking about that. Yeah. Well, he might have. I mean, you never know.
I mean, I went to school with
He
Kate. I
said
know
she
there's
said-
two guys she dated in high school when I went there.
Oh, really?
And one's almost my best friend.
Really?
Yes.
So what's that like? Like your best
Give a
friend
shit.
dated your wife?
Oh, it's my buddy Jason.
I have friends like that. I
They
have a-
dated in high school. It doesn't count. Like, what do you do? You're in
No.
fucking. You're a freshman and sophomore.
I have
like that doesn't count.
I have friends that a friend of mine who's like happily married, has been for a long time, to a girl his best friend dated for years, and back in high school.
High school was
like
ages ago. And
Yeah,
I'm like, Kate went to college, came back and was Rams cheerleader, and then dated a
Where'd
dude.
she go to college?
She went to SEMO.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
In Southeast Missouri?
I think Southwest. No, Southeast. Man,
Yeah, SEMO stands for Southeast.
Oh, yeah, SEMO. Yeah, Southeast.
Was she a cheerleader there, too?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
No, she was a cheerleader after that.
Did you ever go down to visit?
No, I didn't know her then, dude.
Oh, you didn't?
I was
you didn't know
playing
her?
pro hockey.
I thought you
then.
knew her in high school.
Yeah, in high school, but
Yeah.
I didn't wheel her or anything. She wanted nothing to do with me. I was younger than she was, and she had a lot. She was just. I wasn't confident.
What if you didn't play hockey professionally? Like, would you?
Fuck no.
Would you be married to her?
No, I probably wouldn't have the confidence. I wheeled Kate like no other. I took her to concerts, backstage, made out in front of the whole concert on stage.
You did, yeah, in front of the whole concert.
In front of the whole I almost blew a tire. We were partying. I took her everywhere. I took her with all our buddies. I was sweet to her. I always made sure everybody took care of her because yeah, I'd wheel that hardcore,
Yeah.
But go fuck yourself, Andy.
I brought you some barbecue sauce today and some. Dude, I bring you things every day.
I don't get free stuff.
I don't ever get anything. You
What
never
do you
give
want?
me anything.
What do you want? You want me to go to Corner Butcher and get you some meat? You don't eat meat. What do you want?
Some salmon.
What do you want?
Salmon.
You want to
jerky?
come golf? Come golf.
I mean,
What do you
everything
want from me? You
ask
give me
to
barbecue
do
sauce. Yeah, but you give me
requires
barbecue
me to
sauce that might not
drive,
be that. Wait.
Like 45 minutes away.
You give me barbecue sauce that might not even be that good.
Well, how can you say that?
Well, and you get it for free. And you're like, I hook you up with things. I'm like, well, you didn't even have to give me this. It wouldn't even matter.
Dude, it's like a.
It's like you're just giving me. Then now you're like, give me
this
something. Like,
barbecue
what do you
sauce,
want?
it's steak sauce.
I don't want steak sauce.
vinaigrette sauce.
I like
Hold
that.
on, and it's special sauce.
Here's the deal, Andy.
And I'll
Andy
tell you
doesn't
what to
even
do with
fucking know.
it. What I did last night with my tacos.
Would you put it on veggies?
No. I mixed fish tacos last night. I mixed the sauce. Any of the sauce. You choose which one you want. With some Greek yogurt, dude.
I know. I get that. Make it a little spicy.
And I make my own little aioli, and I drizzled that over the.
I get that.
Over the fish tacos. It
And
was
he's like, here,
unbelievable.
take this steak sauce. And I told Andy, I go, when you know how to cook a steak, you don't need steak sauce.
That's why people
baby.
do like steak.
I like to eat the meat. If you cook it right, you enjoy the meat. You don't need A1 sauce. You don't need any of that shit. You season it well, and you enjoy the meat. But Andy doesn't know about that.
I find a lot of people enjoy meat because of the way it's seasoned and the sauce they put on it. It's
Well,
like a
they're
hamburger in general. You put cheese on there, the lettuce, tomato, the sauce. That's
Hamburger
what
meat's different
brings
than
it all
hamburger,
together.
If you get a nice like ribeye, like you enjoy the meat, that's an expensive cut, dude. Like fucking
What are
ground
you
beef
putting
is
on
ground
there?
beef.
What are you putting on your ribeye?
I'll put a little bit of oil on my.
What kind of
I'll
oil?
fucking tomahawk. I'll put a little bit of just
Olive
nice
oil.
Nice olive oil. Nice. I'll season the hell out of it because steak. It's hard to over season steak, especially thick ass fatties like I like, baby. I like them fatties. So I'll season it real nice. I'll put a nice big thick coat of pepper on there because you put pepper on there. And don't forget the sides. That's what makes the crust. And I'll cook that damn thing hottest temperature
Cracked
possible.
pepper.
Yeah, good peppercorn. Make it thick on that mug. So when you sear that, it has a nice crisp.
Not like the pepper you'd find on your table at
no, not the pussy
Applebee's or
shit.
something like
No,
that.
you want thick peppercorn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no
so
doubt.
that makes that nice sear, that nice bark on that.
Yeah.
And I love and if you have to put A1 sauce on it, that means you didn't cook it well.
Really?
Yes.
That's not a good
Yes.
thing to say.
And here's
for
another
A1
thing: when I
sauce.
take that off, I'll make a butter garlic with a little bit of rosemary. And I'll take this and I'll take this butter and put a little bit of W sauce, Worcester sauce. Who's your sister? Worcester sauce, and you put that on and you mix it up and you let the steak sit for 10 to 15 minutes with that butter and a little W sauce on that bad boy.
Really?
Ooh, doggy! And I'll cut that mug open. Oh Lord, pink in the middle, not blue. Pink and it's still warm in the middle. It's pink. I don't like blue. I don't want it cold in the middle.
Who makes it blue?
Well, that's rare.
it's like
homie.
a gender reveal or something.
Well, that's rare. How dare you assume the gender?
That's true.
Let the child pick out their own
true.
gender.
That's
Andy,
true.
how dare thee? Anyhow, you don't want a blue. In my opinion, you don't want a blue in the middle. You want it pink, so it's a little bit warm. But damn almighty, woo, doggy! I'm starving. Fat ass steak.
So that's my point, though. Like you cover it in all that seasoning and stuff. That's what you really like, probably more than.
No, I want the meat, Andy.
meat
Even if I
part.
cook the damn thing without seasoning, I'll appreciate the meat.
Yeah,
Unlike you don't like meat.
that's not true.
You're anti-meat.
That is not true at all. I have a meat sponsor, actually. I hand out steaks.
I'm sure he's happy with you.
Oh, my God.
You talk about their vegetables. They're like,
so
can you
happy.
talk about our meat, please?
He's so happy because, like, half the Blues team is now ordering it. He delivers to their house. He's unbelievable.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is cool. That's like a good service to have.
He's only cool if he sponsors a podcast.
I think Jake Neighbors, he grew up in a family.
He turned the puck over a couple times the other day.
Against Seattle, he did. Yeah. That's going to happen.
I know. He's playing fine.
Are you chirping him?
No, I'm just like, you're like, oh, Jake Neighbors.
No,
like,
his family has a meat delivering business.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, out in Alberta, dude.
Oh,
I mean, so you know that
he's a meat eater.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a way of life.
Don't you look at Jake Neighbors like, wow, cool. Jake Neighbors eats meat. Like, that's kind of cool. Maybe I should.
What about O'Reilly? He doesn't eat meat.
Not anymore. After he made $56 million.
You don't know when he started.
Oh, yeah?
Steiner
just started. Get the fuck out of here.
Stastny.
I was crushing meat with Steiner. Who's he kidding?
Stastny.
Same damn thing.
There's a lot
of guys. When you
get
older and your metabolism, maybe you're like, I don't want to
David Backus.
Yeah, all right, fine.
There's a lot of players who are plant-based.
I like Backus played better when he was eating meat. He looks skinny as shit now. I told him that when he walked in. I go, you need to eat fucking meat. He'd still be playing.
You ever see those offensive linemen? Like,
oh, fuck.
Like 3 years after they retire?
I know. You want to throw them food. You're like, God, you look terrible.
They shrink.
They look worse when they're skinny.
Why do you think that is?
Because you're used to them as when they're at their most successful part of their life, they looked a certain way. And you appreciate that, and you think like, wow, you're supposed to look like that. That's when I looked at you and I was like, wow, you're doing good things. Then I see it now when you're retired and you're like, wow, you're fucking 220 pounds.
Yeah. And
you're like, you just don't look right. I like when you were big.
Yeah, but how do you think they shrink? Why do you think they shrink so quickly?
Because they're not eating as much.
Is it eat?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're supposed to eat. You got to keep the pounds on, dude.
Yeah,
it's like being a sumo wrestler.
Eating is key, you know.
Oh, is it, Andy?
Yeah. Some people
eat
I'm
the 250 pounds.
wrong
Thank you.
foods.
That's true.
You got to eat the right foods.
Yeah, Andy, we all know that. Like, we all know that. It costs money to eat fucking. If we all did the right thing, like, we wouldn't do. You'd be walking here and not taking your car.
But you know what?
You'd be fucking doing a lot of shit. So who are you kidding?
I know it costs a lot of money to eat really clean and to eat healthy.
Yeah, it does.
But I think if of all the things you spend money on, if you're going to invest in anything, Cam, you should invest in what you put in your body.
I get that. And you know what? It's not that expensive. If you go get nice, now chicken's a little bit expensive now, but if you just, you just got to be boring with your palate. Meaning like you could eat fruit. Fruit's not that expensive. You could buy veggies. You could put little things together. You could buy a bulk chicken breast, cook them, and just eat them every fucking day and save money that way. But you know what? That's miserable for me. I don't.
Are you a snacker?
Goddamn, dude, I appreciate food, Andy.
Are you eating chips?
I mean, when I'm stoned at night, I'll eat anything, you know, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta stop. And I'll look at Kate and be like, I'm eating, I can't stop. But I'm stoned out of my fucking mind. But if I'm not, like, I'm not a snacker. I like to drink, which is not good either. But the point is, I appreciate food. I like seafood. I like trying new things. I like Vietnamese. I like this. I like that. I like curry. I like everything. So if I was going to be boring and lose a ton of weight, like, I'm going to be miserable too. So I have to balance that. Maybe I'm not as caught up, but Kate and I go to all these cool ass restaurants and we try new stuff and we meet the owners and I'll try anything they give me. And yeah, I'll put a little bit of weight on, but I'm happy.
Well, that's the most important.
Does that make sense?
There's a lot of cool restaurants that
make sense?
I'd like to take you guys to, actually.
All right, fine.
You know, because there's some, and we love eating out. I love going to a nice restaurant.
You're probably a boring ass eater too. I don't like hanging out with, I'll tell you, like, if you're hanging out with a guy, it's like, what? Excuse me, sir. Let me look at the menu here. Do you have? Like,
no,
what the
or
fuck?
You ever been with? What about when they send it back, dude?
Oh, Andy, I don't put up with that.
No, either do I.
I don't put up.
I don't like.
I don't put up with that.
I don't like going to restaurants with people that are rude to the server.
Oh, I don't put up with
That's
it.
the most uncomfortable feeling you can have.
Oh God, and I know, and they'll take a bite and it'll look perfect, and they'll be like this.
Oh, this is way too pink.
Oh my God. I don't. This is way too.
Sir, can you please come over here?
Excuse me. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Sit there. I'll pay for it.
Send it back. Send it back. Hey,
Let me go ahead.
Who's that famous talk show host that just got busted by that chef?
That nerd fuck.
Yeah,
he's from England.
He does the songs in the car and stuff like that.
He's so cool.
Yeah,
he's a fucking nerd. And he's a dick to people that aren't making that much money.
And so, what do you think of the owner that called his ass out?
I love it.
And he's the owner of like one of the most popular like celebrity hangout restaurants in New York City.
And he said that.
What's the guy's name?
I forgot. Bardon. No, not Anthony Bardon. He died. He's just a typical fucking. I do a talk show. I do like karaoke in a car. I'm gonna be a dick to all these people. How dare you not give me what I want on net? Like, shut the fuck up. I'd be pissed at him, dude. And if I was sitting there and that little dick ball did that, and and he's chirping some poor little girl that's grinding it, I'd be so fucking
James
pissed.
Corden.
You fucking
Corden.
nerd boy. You're a dick to
his omelet had egg whites in it.
You pussy. Who you fat fucking? You look like a pussy. You asshole. You look like shit anyway.
So the owner's like, dude, he's like talking shit to my staff.
I know.
I don't even want you here.
Asshole.
Because I've got like all these A-listers coming in anyway. And yet this dude, the talk show host, is complaining about the egg whites.
The little fat fuck. If you're a dick to somebody, I'm going to fucking chirp you.
Okay.
And you're going to call out your egg white meat. And this poor little girl's like, oh,
apparently there was a hair in his food too.
So what? Eat it, you pussy. Now, I would be pissed at that.
Nah, I don't like the hair on the food.
Yeah, but don't make a scene.
No, I'm just kind of like, sir.
Don't make...
Because my wife...
I love you.
That's my wife is so nice to the people. She's like, oh, I feel so bad. I'm so sorry to say.
I know.
But there's a balance. Hair in my food.
That's fine. Just don't make a scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't make a scene.
And don't threaten to put a review on Yelp.
Well, if it's a nice restaurant...
I'm just saying.
No, but
that's what he did.
You're a celebrity.
He did that, though.
You asshole. I'd be so pissed at him, man. Like, if I was the owner of that restaurant, you're degrading my staff who busts their ass. I don't know. I don't like it.
Well, he got called out, and he got absolutely crushed.
It's like Ellen.
What'd she do? Ellen?
What?
She hands out presents to a lot of people and gives away a lot of gifts to her audience.
In the inside, man, some of these people are like,
wait a minute.
Hi, I'm with everybody. I love everything's good. Green, me. And they're fucking
The only thing I heard
dicks.
about her,
they
though,
is
she didn't show up for like a recording.
No, Andy, she treated everybody like shit.
Her employees?
Yes. Treated them like shit.
Fill me in.
All of them. All of them. A lot of these celebrities are that way, man.
Does she not have her show anymore?
I don't know. But she's supposed to be a fucking bitch.
Really?
Yes. And they're all happy, like, I'm with Ukraine. I do happy things. We need pronoun, blah, blah, blah. And they say the right thing. I'm going to virtue signal, blah, blah, blah. And they're bitches to everybody behind the scenes. They'll tweet the right thing. They'll say the right thing in interviews. Yeah. I'm perfect. I'm with this. And they're fucking bitches or dicks, just like that old boy. They're the same people. They're all in the same category. Fuck all of them. How are you behind the scenes? How are you people? Seriously, how are the people that are beneath you?
Yeah.
How are you? That's what I want to know. You could tweet all the fucking shit you want. You're a bitch to your people that are underneath you, that rely on you, that look up to you. Nah, I don't put up with that shit.
So what'd she do?
Man, she's just a fucking bitch.
Who's saying this?
Read things, Andy, once in a while.
Well, I don't read like the Us magazines.
And it pops up everywhere. It's just shoved in your fucking face. Yeah.
I didn't. Listen, I've seen
there's a lot of guys.
There's a lot. Like that. I know, but there's a lot of people like that. There's a lot of headlines that are out there, but I don't.
There's coaches like that.
I don't click on all the headlines.
There's athletes like that.
Yes.
There's superstars. There's singers like that. And there's singers and all that are good to people. That don't need to be good to people. That are even bigger than them.
There's the Paul Correas who donate millions of dollars to the Children's Hospital and tell you, if this gets out, I'm taking it all back.
I know. I like that.
He doesn't want any credit, doesn't want any attention. He's doing it for the right reasons.
That's the thing.
There's not many people like that, Cam.
They're
more
out
than
there,
you would think.
But I like the ones that get called out. That show this like, this is what you need to do. How dare you do this? And they of course virtue signal and all that. And they deep down are the biggest bitches, assholes in the world. And I like when they get called out, man. They need to.
Yeah.
Sit your ass down. And they probably don't tip well either. Fucking
Are you a big tipper?
Oh, yeah, dude. Too much sometimes.
You pay with gift cards, though, for everything.
The fuck are you? Andy, you're so dumb sometimes. No, I don't. Oh, I tip out, man. I do. I don't call out. I'll just I don't want any controversy, so I'll just be like, I'm good. Even if the food sucked, I just be like, I just won't go there anymore. I won't bash you. I won't bash you on the radio unless you do something crazy and I Got to defend myself. I won't do that. I just won't go there anymore. And if somebody comes up to me, not on the radio, and they ask me about it, I'll be like, it's not good.
Yeah, yeah.
And that goes a long way.
There's no doubt about it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Well, I didn't expect it to go in that direction.
Well, whatever. Who cares?
Well, no, I know. I'm just saying.
What are we doing? We're chilling here. We just got done talking to a fucking old boy for 3 hours.
How cool is that guy?
I like him a lot, man.
Would you run through a wall for him?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, I do that for everybody.
I think I might run through a wall.
Yeah. Well, that wall will own you.
Like a little drywall that's made out of paper.
What are the kids like? What is the? If you were going to go to a Halloween party, what would you dress up?
Well,
as?
the Blues are playing on Halloween night.
Okay, whatever.
Home game. Are you dressing up for Halloween this year?
Yeah.
I haven't dressed up in a few years.
What would you be?
Man.
A vegetarian?
No. I don't know what I would dress up as, man. I mean, I like costumes and stuff, but I just never really get that into
Putin?
It. And how do you look like Putin?
Scared.
Gorbachev.
Easy. Take your shirt off. Put
Gorbachev.
Jeans
you have the.
You give it the Gorbachev thing.
You put the thing on your.
Zelensky just have a bunch of money. Just have like tons of money by
what
and
do you
weapons.
think of like these European countries that are complaining about Russia competing in the World Cup in 2024?
I mean,
hold on,
yeah.
And they're saying like there should be no team from Russia wearing a Russian jersey, and they don't want to hear the Russian anthem in this tournament. Like, what? The NHL's in a tough spot here.
I know. I
kind of feel, in a way, I feel bad for Russian players that are playing in the NHL, the ones that you get to know personally, because like.
Yeah.
They're not directly
they don't know shit.
involved in what's going on with the war, and they're just
not.
hockey players that are from Russia.
I know.
And you've got even like there were some players who played for San Jose, right? And people were complaining about them going over to play those games in Europe to start the season and stuff. It's like,
I know, settle down with that.
These poor guys.
These kids don't have anything to do with anything. Jesus Christ. What if
what's that going to accomplish?
What about the Americans playing in things when we invaded countries like
Iran or something?
We didn't invade Iran.
Iraq.
Just so you know.
It was Iraq.
They have nukes, so we're not invading Iran anytime soon, homeboy. Just
Did I say?
Don't cut that out.
Cut that out.
No, don't do it. But no.
Iraq.
Iraq's a different story. Yeah, man. It's a big fucking deal. Afghanistan.
Well, so we're not like perfect.
No, hell no, we're not perfect. They have nothing to do with Putin. They have nothing to do, and there's so much more detail. I don't even want to get into it. But they have nothing to do with fucking Putin.
So
Putin's
how
evil.
should the NHL react to it?
I don't know, man. You got to save the kids. Get them over here. How about get them out of Russia and let them play here? Fucking let them play in American League. Keep them around here. They adapt. They assimilate. Bring the Russians over here. They want to get the fuck out of there anyway.
What I'm saying is, should they play with the Russian uniform?
I don't know.
Under the Russian flag at the World Cup.
I don't mind people saying no to that.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
I don't mind that.
Saying hell no, you shouldn't be able to play with.
Yeah, I'd say right now,
like
no.
Ovi and Tarasenko and Buchnevich and these guys, you can't play with your jersey.
That's a good question, Andy. To represent Russia right now, I don't know. I don't.
It's a lot to handle.
It's a lot. I don't want to fuck over the Russians because they have nothing to do with this.
Well, you should let them play. Like maybe they play under like a unified name or something.
A unified name like Happyville instead of Russia.
Like the Ovies.
Ovechkin, Team Ovechkin. Who gives a shit?
Team Ovechkin.
How about Team NHL? Team Russian NHL or something. I don't know. Tie it back to the NHL. Just don't put Russia involved.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, I don't want
to
like dive into this diversity study that they did.
Well, we're not getting a job anytime soon.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't want to dive quite into that. But I will say this, that there is a diversity group that the NHL has put together. Yeah. And I know a number of people that are part of that. Jamal Mayers, for example. Maybe Bryce Salvador. I don't know. Kevin Weeks. Ace, I think, is in that group too. And then you have the other one that is like the racial. I don't have all the names in front of me, man. I apologize. But like the one that you have, Akeem Alou and, the Wayne Simmons and some of the Stewart brothers and stuff like that. Although all these people are very quiet, except for Alou, who's like super loud. But Alou was critical of the NHL for kind of working with the other group and not their group. So I don't have the tweet right in front of me, but all I'm saying is, like, come on, even though we have two racial alliances in two different groups, in order to have real progress, I'd like to see both those groups get along.
Well, why don't you write an email?
Because
I'm sure they'll listen to you.
No,
Andy.
I'm just saying that's important. Like, at least those groups have to get along.
I don't get it.
So the NHL is working with a racially diversity group that they put together, and then now the other group doesn't like that group. Like, come on, come on.
It ain't good.
We need to have both groups at least get along.
Yeah, it
you know
kind
what
of
I'm
like defeats the purpose. Like, well, what's the difference?
Right.
Like, aren't we? And
even though the NHL isn't maybe working with you, I'm sure that they've had conversations and maybe even invited them to work with them in the past or whatever, But
so what's the point of it? So they want more African Americans and women involved in what? Like the
I
players
don't
or
know,
like the what?
I don't know what. I just think that they just came out with their study, and those were the results of the study.
Well, I mean, you got to
Like
understand a lot of
83%.
Well, you got to understand a lot of players come from Eastern Europe.
Right.
It's white there. A lot of players come from Sweden. It's really white there.
Well, I think
Russia,
the NHL even said that they weren't
pretty white.
surprised by
Canada, pretty white. So it's like, is there people knocking on African Americans knocking on the door like, I need a job, and they're like, no, we're not going to take you. Like, is that happening?
I don't know.
Is it? Like, because if it is, that's ridiculous, especially if they're certainly qualified. But if it's not happening, then like, you just got to educate. It's hard for inner city kids to get into fucking hockey. It's easy to go grab a fucking basketball and go down the street and throw it in the, like, it's hard. Like, I'm talking about U.S. Like, it's different in Canada and stuff. I'm talking about U.S. Ryan O'Reilly does a great job of going to the inner cities and talking to inner city kids. And hey, look, there's hockey out here, too. Come to the Blues games. You see a lot more black guy people going to games. Like, you see at the games. It's cool to see. It's just hard to get into hockey as a young kid. Like, it's easier to get into baseball and football and basketball. It just is. Hockey's tough.
Well, I went to a very diverse high school camp.
So did I.
As you know. And,
we both did.
I don't think...
Public schools.
Yeah, and I had a lot of African-American friends growing up. A lot. And it just wasn't part of their culture.
Of course, Andy, I had a lot. So funny.
I did, dude.
So funny.
They'd come over and hang out after school and stuff like. I mean, I had a lot of friends that you grew up with.
I know,
because you didn't look at it like race. You know what I'm saying, dude?
That's what I mean. It's just like
I knew these kids since we were 5 years old.
We're just friends.
Yeah. I went to school with them until I was like 18. So you were friends with a lot of them, but they weren't like diehard hockey fans. They were never really into hockey.
And even my white friends out there weren't diehard hockey fans. Like even the people where I grew up, we had to get them into hockey. Like even way out in the country, like baseball and stuff like that. Well, they weren't big hockey fans. Now it's like spread out more. The Blues, have a bigger reach. But I don't know what they're trying to accomplish. If there's an African American person that's qualified, no one's going to
by all means.
No one's going to be like, look at it. Like, who does that? Who do you know anybody who would be like, I can't have him here? Like, who the fuck would ever do that? And if somebody did think that way, they're going to get weeded out so goddamn fast your head will spin. You say anything racist, you'll fucking be donezo. You'll be fucking done. Good luck trying to get a job anywhere. Good luck doing anything. You'll get tarnished. Who's shoving away African Americans trying to get in the NHL? Who's saying no to them? We just got to get more involved. That's a tough situation. It's tough. Hockey is fucking expensive.
Well,
it's fucking expensive.
Well,
I barely got into it. My parents were poor.
Same here, man.
Couldn't get into it. And I'm lucky.
And I'm in rinks every day. And it is what it is, what you see. It's not, you're
fucking
not
expensive.
Well, no, it's not a very racially diverse climate begin with.
It's white kids playing. We need more, but like to force the issue, I think would be.
I'd like to hear some like solutions. Like what do they want to do? What are the solutions?
What are they trying? Because I read about it in the paper every day. They'll have an article about hockey and what they need to do, and they'll give the percentage of this, that, and the other. I'm like, okay, then what are we doing? What do you want to do? Where's the problem? Is a problem that they're getting shunned away, or is a problem like we need more people involved? How do you do that? How do you not force the issue? I don't know. I don't know, Andy. I don't know.
Well, I feel like there's more than ever. There's a lot of women working in hockey for sure. And my feeling is,
hey, can I say something real quick?
Huh?
If I owned a company, or I was in charge of hiring somebody, and there's a guy and a woman, and they were equal, I'd pick the woman. I just would. They were equal. I'd be like, you know what? I'll take you.
Well, my point is, because there's a lot of women working in hockey.
Well, I got to take you if you're equal.
Just like there are I mean, go watch an
hell yeah,
NFL
girl.
pregame show.
Let's go.
There's a lot of women working in the NFL.
They're fucking good too.
There's a lot of women working in the NBA. I feel like on these other shows with other sports, they don't draw that much attention to it. They just bring them on. They're just part of the show, or they're just covering.
They're part of the group.
They're covering football. They're covering basketball. Yeah. Where in hockey, it's like they got to make a big deal. They don't know what to do because, well, it's like they're uncomfortable with the whole situation, so they're trying to force it. It just doesn't come across very natural. Like when you have women working in hockey, just bring them on to talk about the team that they cover.
Well, give me an example of what you're talking about.
Well, I see.
Give me an example.
Well, NHL Network, for example, they're having a segment.
Yes.
Where they want to bring on women who cover hockey.
Okay.
And they went on and on and on about how there are great women who are covering the game. And they do this and do that. And it's great. But, like, why draw that much attention to it? If you have someone that covers the league or covers a specific team and you want to bring them on to talk about the league or talk about that team, just bring them on. You don't have to make them because I see this in football, Cam, and I see it in basketball. You have women who do an unbelievable job covering those sports, and they come on these specialty shows, they come on pregame shows, they come on weekday shows, and they're not introduced as women who cover football or women who cover basketball. Where in hockey, it's like you have to introduce them as a woman who covers hockey.
We have a woman on now. Look, it's a woman. And she's probably like, hey, yeah, I know. How about you just introduce me as my name? And like I'm good.
So I think hockey has to get past some of that.
Yeah. Trying too hard.
And once we do that, I think it'll be more natural, and it's not going to. It'll be even more common.
Look, it's a woman. Wow, look.
To me, as a viewer, if you're watching a show, you don't have to make a big deal out of it. They're just somebody who covers hockey.
She's good. She's going to come in and entertain. She's going to break down something for you. How about just say her name and act like it's not so obscure?
It's a very, listen, and one thing, I'll say this, because it's a very sensitive topic, because you never know how people are going to take it, how people are going to react, and no one's comfortable talking about it because of that. And I wish we could get to a point where we can have an open discussion from that standpoint without the fear of having any type of crazy repercussions because you may say something that's taken the wrong way or whatever. You know what I mean?
I get you. I know. It's like if you're good, you're good.
Like, so hockey's trailing these other sports because we get in our own way.
Yeah, they're just trying to.
There's a lot of women who cover hockey and they're doing a great job.
Yeah, damn right.
Don't treat them any differently. Just let them.
Look, it's a woman. Oh, a woman's coming.
Just bring them on to talk about the Maple Leafs.
You're like degrading them.
Hey, we're talking the Leafs, so we're going to talk to this person about the Leafs.
Or like, yeah, it's like, well, we have an African American on. Look. If I'm him, I'm like, what? What the fuck do I look like? Mm-hmm. No, I'm fucking good at what I do. That's why I'm on. Get out of here. Virtue signal. Get out of here. No, I'm good. That's why I'm on.
So
act like I'm a baby.
Hockey just looks.
Like a child.
Hockey's the one sport that's the most uncomfortable talking about these issues.
I know. Because they're so nerdy.
Just be normal. Just be normal. Talk normal.
They don't know
be
how.
Be yourself.
Andy.
It's like everybody's standing up there. It's like, what? Just
look who it is. No, we're having her on because she knows what she's talking about. That's why she's coming on. So I get you, man.
By trying to act like you're so accepting, you're acting more uncomfortable with it. That's just my take. As a
degrading, to be honest with you.
As a viewer,
like degrading them. That's how I get you, man.
The Vancouver Canucks,
they're good.
Cam.
They are a really good hockey team.
Can I just say this, Jim Rutherford and the entire management staff over there at the Canucks? You guys all made the mistake. You guys did this. You created this issue. Yeah, your players aren't playing well, and yeah, they're not working hard. But you know what? You had a coach, and I think it was Jim Rutherford came on board 4 days, Cam, if you're counting at home, 4 days after Bruce Boudreau was brought there. And they're doing the chants, Bruce, there it is, and he's like the king of the city and getting way more attention than the players.
And we like him, by the way.
I like Bruce, but at the same time, it can be a little much. I don't know. You tell me. Do players like it when the coach is getting more attention than all the players?
Fuck no.
So they give him this 2-year contract originally, right? That had an option for the second year. Yeah. So he basically exercised his option. He decided to come back. But I think, and you listen to some of the comments from Jim Rutherford, and he talks about structure and some of the issues they wanted. He wouldn't commit to Bruce Boudreau last year. There was some drama. Is he coming back? Is he not coming back? Yeah. He got off to the hot start and all that. Which is not the first time we've seen that. We see coaches take over midseason and the teams start winning as a result. We saw it in the NFL. Carolina Panthers, man, they won a game against Tampa Bay, I think it was.
Tom Brady's out of it. I called
nobody
that
even
months ago.
gave them a chance. But you know what? They fired the coach, and sometimes that rallies the team internally. And we see this in hockey all the time. So, Vancouver, you messed up. You either had to fire him or extend him because now he's got no leverage with the players. The players all know he's got no chance of being the long-term coach. They signed JT Miller. I don't know if that was a great contract or not. Right now, it doesn't look good. They're getting nothing out of guys like Brock Besser. Quinn Hughes is hurt. People throwing him out there as like a Norris Trophy candidate, where it probably isn't even there yet. So again, we just get so excited about these Canadian teams. But I'll tell you what, man, when you don't give a coach a contract extension, or you don't fire him, you kind of create these issues. And that's where we are right now with the Vancouver Canucks, Cam.
And they're Lukey Shin was kind of going at with
JT.
I know. Listen, get off the ice first.
Do it off the ice.
It's such a bad look. Everybody's filming
and it's Canada. Everyone's going to talk about it.
It's just a bad look. Mm-hmm. It amplifies everything. And I love those guys, especially the Shinners,
Oh, yeah.
But just get off the ice and do it in the locker room. Mm-hmm. That's all. I don't know what's going on up there, Andy.
It just doesn't look good.
They're losing in horrible fashion, obviously being up by a couple, which is actually a good sign.
Yeah.
It's better than getting
They're the only team in the league that doesn't have a regulation win, I think.
I know, but Lisa, because San Jose was up there.
Because Arizona beat Toronto.
San Jose got a game too. But yeah, it's just not good. And they're taking a beating. They haven't won a cup.
Erik Karlsson's got 3 goals, by the way.
Whatever.
All of a sudden, Erik Karlsson, man. Hey, but
they have 1 win.
So Vancouver, man, you're just not that good.
You're not that good.
And now you got the issues to go along with it. So we all know it's just a matter of time before Bruce Boudreau gets fired. I mean, they didn't want to commit to him with a contract extension. You're 0-6 to start the season. I think they've lost in overtime a couple of times. They're throwing jerseys on the ice. So it's only – and the manager's coming out. I mean, the president, Jim Rutherford's coming out. He's saying things. You don't even hear from the GM, who's got, Alvin, the guy who works under Jim Rutherford, who I hear is a great guy, actually. You don't really hear much from him.
The owner's in a jam a little bit.
But let me say this.
Is the owner in jam?
He was, absolutely, in a little bit. I don't know how it's allegations, right?
Yeah, that's kind of goofy.
But when you're a coach, and you come out after the game and you start saying it's embarrassing and all this type of stuff, and it was embarrassing, but you start questioning effort. When the players aren't giving effort, to me, Cam, I look at that as that's an indictment on the coach. When you're not getting effort out of your players, that tells me this is a no-win situation. You're not getting the most out of your players. I found coaches in the past who wanted to make excuses for losing would never say that they weren't putting forth effort because they knew that would be a bad look on them.
Yeah.
They would always say, "We're working hard. Our guys are trying. We're putting forth the effort. We're just not getting the results.
We're just not burying it. They got to break. They got to bear it down. And
so he's blaming himself without even knowing that he's blaming himself.
No, maybe he doesn't know, but we all know that if the effort's not there, that's on you. And that's when you say that when you're in a weird jam and you're already on the hot seat a little bit anyway. When you say the effort's not there, you're announcing to everybody, hey, it ain't working with me. Mm-hmm. In my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know why you would do that, but the effort's probably not.
They try
there.
to make.
I don't know. I haven't watched him enough.
Bruce a little cute little character and all this stuff, and it's just it's probably too much. For
you want
Jim.
your coach? Your coach needs to be in my opinion, like the ref. Don't notice him. Mm-hmm. He says the right thing.
Yeah,
does the right thing. He's not loud. Fucking Craig Berube, the home opener. They're announcing all the players, and then they go to the coaches. And they bring up the coaches, and the place is going crazy. Berube doesn't even raise his fucking hand.
Yeah.
He doesn't, nobody on the coaching staff even does anything. Meaning, don't worry about me.
Right.
Look at the goddamn players.
I know.
I don't want anybody to notice me. I'm going to say the right thing afterwards, but I'm going to still make my point.
Yeah.
That's what I want in a coach.
I was talking to Doug Armstrong about this the other day on my radio show. And it was great.
Oh, you got a radio show?
Yeah, it was a great interview. We went 30 minutes, man. Talked about everything. And because I hear people bring up the best coaches in the game, and they don't include Craig Berube.
Yeah.
But they include all these other guys that have coached for 5 teams and that have bounced around and have been around for a long time. They've had great careers, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, you can't.
But, and the Blues have a great team, and he's doing a really nice job with a really talented team. But the thing about St. Louis, man, I know we're here, but the players don't get credit. All the players are underrated. The coach is underrated. None of these guys are self-promoters. None of these guys going around thumping their chest, being loud, getting attention. And it's like kind of like the forgotten team in a way, you know? I mean, people talk about Edmonton like crazy. Obviously, they've got two of the best players in the world, including McDavid. But like the Blues go in there, they give up like 22 shots, just structure them to death.
And what do they talk about the whole time, you think?
I don't know.
They talk about McDavid's
his little juggling act?
Juggling act. Like, wow, let's check that. He was shut out.
Yeah. Guess what? Every player on the Blues could do that.
Anybody could do that. Anybody on the Blues could do it.
No.
But, like, that's all they talked about was McDavid. I'm like, well,
you don't see too many guys do that in the game, and I get it.
He was shut out at home.
Yeah.
He was shut out at home. Like, it
wasn't a great game. Draisaitl.
They were shut out.
So they're great players. There's just a lot of teams that just, it's like you got Toronto, for example, where the coach, and this drives me crazy, Cam, where the coach calls out his best players early in the season. It's like this panic effect.
I heard it.
And he calls out his best players. And then you have Mitchie Marner, who's actually one of my favorite players, actually. I tell my son to watch his highlights, who goes in and has this talk with him, and he says, I told him my feelings. You could tell that he was pissed off, Mitch Marner. And then the coach comes out and backtracks. I mean, he backtracks.
You want to know another way?
You can't backpedal.
You want to know another way to lose your job?
You already said it, man.
You want to know another way to lose your job? Just that kind of stuff. You got to play the media right, man. And it's a hard thing to do, especially in Toronto. But, like, the less you say, I think, is just the better. And, like, if you're stoic like fucking Berube, where he'll stare in your soul when you ask him, like, no, they weren't good. And not go above that. Like, like he'll just say, how was O'Reilly night? He wasn't that good. Boy, can you elaborate? No, he just wasn't that good. And then that's it. But then you just know what he's saying. And he's better at what I just said. But, like, that's enough. He just wasn't that good.
He doesn't always call guys out, though. I mean, he does it in the most.
Never, subtle, more like, no, he could be better. Or something like that. Like, it's not like, well, let's see here.
He's not going to embarrass Ryan O'Reilly ever.
I know, but he could say, no, he could be better. Like this, that. And that's it. And he'll just look the other way and have that scary fucking look on his face.
Right.
Where Keith's like, kind of like, he's like smiling during the whole thing. Like, no, Berube has the same facial expression the whole time, meaning like he's going to give you what he's going to give you, and that's it. And he's never too high, he's never too low. The media can't take that and be like, I got something. Like you never have anything, but you have enough. But it's really weird.
They show Dubas, and he's just like,
it's the dude.
No, he's like getting he's like cursing out loud, like when the camera's on him, and like he's throwing his pen, like.
It's too much. It's too much. It's like that's how you lose the guys a little bit, man. That's how. You don't need to say that much.
Well, you just almost feel like it's only a matter of time. Eventually, that change has to happen at some point, in my opinion, for Toronto to get to the next level. I just think,
and I love their fans.
I think they're going to have to. They're going to have to get to that point where I think their talent will prevail, where it won't allow it to get to that point during the season because they're too good. They'll win enough games, and maybe they'll wait for them to lose in the first round if, in fact, that does happen. But okay, so if they win the first round and lose in the second round. Now everybody's safe. That doesn't even make any sense to me.
I don't know.
So I just truly believe with the talent they have and the number of years you're going to have with these guys, but also with the holes and the weaknesses that you have in that roster too, man. I mean, they don't.
You ain't that good.
No. So
you're top end good, but
who's
you're
their goalie?
I know. What's he doing?
And you're like, well, Matt Murray's hurt. Yeah, that's your goalie?
Well, he's hurt.
Okay, but that's your goalie?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I like Matt Murray. He's a cup winner, but I'm not so sure he can get back to that level. I don't think anybody knows if he can.
I know.
So he hadn't been very good the last couple of years.
Again, I do feel bad for the fans sometimes.
I do want to say this. Jacob Vrana, we wish him the best.
Yeah.
From the Detroit Red Wings. I find it odd that the league sends out a release letting everyone know when a player goes into the player assistance program.
Yeah, well,
what's your take on that?
Well, and I've been through this personally. I was directly affected by this, and I probably should have been a little bit more. But the fans...
Did they send out a press release?
No, I didn't.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, I was in the minors.
Okay,
so I'm talking
about
I'm
that.
explaining it. But my point is, like, the fans are like, well, what the fuck's wrong with him?
Mm-hmm.
We pay money. Like, what happened? So it's a weird balance,
Yeah, but
because
the team put it out?
Well, on the other hand, it's like, what are you going to say? Like, were you going to lie? You going to lie to the fans? So what do you say? personal reasons where people are like, what the fuck's going on? Is his mom okay? What happened?
I just think it's a private
I
situation.
know.
It should be up to the player because I remember Michael Haley coming on with us, and he was like, dude, I didn't even know they sent out their release because I was in rehab already, and he had his phone taken away from him.
But what are you supposed to say to people when a player's like not there and you're like, well, what the fuck is this? And so you're just gonna lie? Now you're a liar. So it's like
He's out.
I don't know.
Personal reasons.
Okay.
Out indefinitely.
But they're
personal
gonna find
reasons.
out.
Cam.
And this is me saying I've been through.
The Red Wings put out an interesting release after that, where they were like an hour later, they're like, yes, we know, we're well aware that our player has entered the program.
Yeah, man.
We maybe would have liked to release it on our own terms or maybe decide how we want the news to come out.
Wait. So who released it?
The NHL.
Oh, and without the Red Wings. Oh, my God.
Well,
okay.
the Red Wings hadn't announced it yet.
Oh, that's a different story.
I don't know if
I'm
they.
sorry.
I don't
No,
know.
I misread you. Sorry.
Yeah,
homie.
I don't know if the Red Wings even knew that they.
That's a different story.
Yeah.
Oh, so the fucking NHL did. So now you want guys, when they're in a jam,
Yeah.
say, hey, can you help me? Which they didn't help me, by the way, at the time, and we're not even going to get into it.
Yeah.
Okay. They waited till after my problem, and they wanted to try to help me, which don't get me started. But now you're like, I'm going to tell you my deep, dark secret. The team hasn't announced it yet, but you're going to help me and then announce it? What the fuck?
And so,
never mind.
What if there's players out there who say, you know, I have issues. I know I need help. I want help. But I don't want the whole hockey world to know about it.
Man, I know. Now, I got to think of the fans when it comes to this. Imagine Ryan O'Reilly's like, oh, he's gone for 2 weeks. What the fuck? Well, what the fuck?
Personal reasons.
No, but what the fuck, though? I'm paying money. I need to know what's going on. And I think that's fair in a way because you are in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Even if it is a personal thing. If you had a domestic violence attack, like it's going to get, if you have any, like, I think that you're a professional athlete. And whether you're on top of the world or you're on the bottom of the world, the fans probably should know, not details, but the thing why you're not there. Does that make sense? I didn't word that right, but does that make sense? So you're going to get praised, but if you're in the NHL and you are fucking doing a bunch of blow.
Should the player have the option to say, I want this public or I want this kept private?
I think details, yeah. But no, you're going to the program. Now, people don't know why. Maybe you're doing blow. Maybe you're a fucking alcoholic. Maybe you're Xanax.
Gambling.
Maybe it's gambling.
Maybe it's depression.
Maybe it's sex addict. Maybe it's whatever.
Maybe
homie.
it's anxiety.
Maybe it's maybe it's mental health. Maybe it's whatever. You don't need to know the details, but the fans deserve.
but you know what?
Wait. The fans deserve to know at least the bigger picture on why you're gone.
Yeah.
No, you're in a program. Okay, well, that's fine. Let them deal with it.
So where do you stand on it though?
On what? I just told you.
You're kind of going both ways.
I don't know. It's confusing.
But it's more about how it's brought to the people's attention.
Like the NHL, like, all right, maybe they're doing it. I guess it's either they do it or the Red Wings do it, but somebody's going to do it. And I think
it was tweeted out. And maybe a press release was sent out at the same time. I don't know.
Well,
NHL
what's the difference?
PR.
I mean, tweeting to whatever. I mean, it's
the
all
same thing.
It's the same thing, Andy.
And then
Somebody's
the
gonna
Red
retweet
Wings are like, yes, we know.
I think they should have done it
That's
first.
essentially what they said.
I think, okay,
yes,
so-
we're aware of it.
Okay, to answer your question, the Red Wings should have the opportunity to get that out first. Then the NHL, they don't even need to do it. But the Red Wings just do
I
it.
don't think players are consulted with it. I don't think they're saying, hey, do you want this out or do you do not want it out?
No, because I
think
it's
just
like
put out there.
Well, Andy, like you're in the spotlight.
Some may feel like they don't, Cam.
Yeah, but
you know that
again-
some may not want that type of embarrassment. They may look at it that way.
Well, no shit. It is embarrassing. There's a lot of things that you do that you don't want out there that's embarrassing. But I think, like, again, you're making millions of dollars. Like, you're an addict. Okay, well, you need help. I'm not gonna hide it from our fans that pay fucking a ton of money to come watch you play. They need to know something. They deserve to know something. And again, that's coming from me. I dealt with this shit firsthand. You can't just be like, don't tell anybody. Well, no. We're not going to give details out what you specifically did or are addicted to, but obviously you have a problem. People don't need to know everything, but they need to know that there's something going on with you. It's not an injury. You're not arrested. Here you go. This is what's going on. I'll give you a vague little thing. He's in a program.
A couple things I want to roll through real quickly. Give a shout out to this defenseman from Montreal, Wi-Fi.
Fuck yeah. What is he working at Starbucks or something? A couple years ago.
Costco, I don't know. He's playing junior hockey too, so it's not
Costco.
It wasn't like he was like not playing hockey.
I know. It's like, is he like 28 or something?
I don't know.
Like,
no, he's like 21. He was
so he was working. Yeah, sometimes you
juniors.
work playing juniors, you're still not making money.
He's playing juniors.
Well, they made it out with that article.
It's not like he's playing like men's hockey on like
Andy. They made it out in that article. Like he's like 25 and he's married with 3 kids and he was working at fucking Costco. Being a manager full time,
Not
and
skating.
all of a sudden he tried out for the fucking Canadians and he beat up goddamn Zach
He
Kassian.
was like skating at like 3 a.m. when he got off work.
Well, whatever. We all did weird things to grind it.
No,
okay?
and I'm just
like,
saying.
I get
No,
it.
that's what they're making it sound
They
like.
made it out
he had
like
to
he's
work all day and then
like
he go
he's Kurt
train.
Warner.
Yeah, like he's working at the high V.
Yeah, no,
stocking
You're
shelves.
19, 20 years old. You're probably
Yeah,
working.
gives a shit.
You know, but I like him.
He's tough.
Just so you know, we just gotta call out to. We see that shit. Andy.
I mean,
It's
come
so
on,
goofy.
don't over dramatize.
No, you don't need to. He's awesome. We like him.
Right. I hope he has a long career.
What's his last
He's
name?
going to be on the show
What's his
at
last
some
name?
point. Wi-Fi.
No, but what is it?
Um,
Brody, what is it? Brody.
No, I know how to say.
Brody.
If I had it in front of me.
Zachford.
No, if I had it in front of me.
Oh, we're gonna get beak for this.
Yeah.
What?
If you had.
I know that.
Yeah.
But what's his last?
If you
fucking
had
name?
it in
Jesus
front
Christ.
of me. Here.
We know his nickname and not his last name. That's ridiculous.
Zexkai.
Zexkai? That's kind of sick. Is it really Zex? Because we're gonna get beaks so bad for this.
Checkkai.
Oh God, we might delete that.
Arbor, dude, is his first name.
He's cool.
And he's cool as shit.
He bagged up Cass pretty good.
What do you think Cassian just didn't know?
Yeah, I just think he got a little too cocky.
This kid's
Throw your left on him, then,
you
Zach.
can tell this.
I
kid,
like Zach.
You can tell this kid's
Cass
tough.
fouls all our shit.
You can tell this kid's tough though.
Yeah, he threw hard.
Like it wasn't like he just like.
It wasn't lucky.
No,
He was thrown down.
And you know what, man? And I love what he said after the game. I got to let the rest of the league know
Fuck
that
yes.
I'm tough. Maybe it gives my players more space, more room out there.
And it'll give you more room, homeboy.
Yeah.
Now, no one's going to be like, now you might have a handful of guys. You might get fucking Alexiak.
Yeah.
You might get McDermott. You might get Reaver. You might get Willie. You might get a couple guys that might go you, but
McDermott.
McDermott threw some heat the other night, too.
Alexiak.
I like those
It's a
two.
big boy fight, man.
Yeah, those guys, they're both tough.
Do you
man.
like it when guys like square off? I mean, they kind of like act like they're like, or do you want their hands up, kind of like?
Nah, everybody's got.
You gotta have your own
Andy,
style.
I went through 50 different styles throughout my year with my square off and what I did. I did a goofy thing for 2 years in juniors. I did this, I did that. Like I was all over the place. You just find your rhythm, man. You gotta have your own style. Have your own style with everything.
Yeah.
You're you. You don't just copy other people, but take your own thing out of it and make it your own shit.
R down.
I like that cat.
Wi-Fi
dude.
is a great nickname for him.
Yeah, he's cool. But he's working at Costco with children. He's
got
eating beans.
He's got 3 kids.
He's a homeless. I'm like, whoa, fuck. And all of a sudden he made the fucking
He's at
Canadians.
21. Like
I'm like, whoa. Jesus. Like, whatever. God.
I want to get to Barry Trotz. Trotsy. You know they call him the Eggman. I forgot to ask him about
Really?
that. Yeah.
What's that mean?
I don't know.
I like him, man. Like, he is cool as fuck. You can tell if you're a player.
I love what he said to Ovi.
What do you say, Ovi, again?
He's just like, dude, you just gotta
Let's
like.
go.
If this is where you're at right now because you're doing this, but if you do
Yeah.
this,
You'll get the puck more. Because you're back checking. We need the puck to give you the puck, homie. You play better defense, you're going to get the puck more.
and you're gonna be a winner.
And it worked with him.
Just think of Ovechkin. He could score 900 goals,
Yeah.
but not have that Stanley Cup. He would still be looked upon as
I know.
behind Sid and all,
I
and
know.
just different. He may still be behind Sidney anyway. And I think Sidney's certainly a better player. And
Overall, maybe. I don't know.
yeah,
maybe.
yes.
I just like Ovi.
But I look at
I like
Ovi's
him
numbers
both.
again today, man. This guy's like, he's
Ovi will
scored,
put you
he
down.
scored 50 goals 9 times, something like that. But you know that there's some seasons where he's been in the 30s and he's played 82 games. Like it's possible for him not to score 50.
I know.
And the way people break this down about him breaking the record, though, they just have it so wrong. They just look at it like he has to do it in X number of years for him to pass Gretzky because he's got this much time left in his contract or whatever. It doesn't matter if he scores 50 this year or 35. He's just going to keep scoring until he passes them, and then he'll retire. Like
He'll
he's
be
not
younger,
not going to retire until he passes them.
See,
if
here's
he
the deal. He'll make $1 million to play on the fourth line.
at 43
Who gives a fuck? And he'll hit
and
guys.
pass him then.
He'll probably be fun to watch then because he's not like He'll probably just.
You
rock
think he's
us.
going to walk away like 20 goals shy?
No, he ain't doing it. If he did, I'd be pissed.
874. Oh, I'm going to retire. I know I'm 20 goals shy.
And if
but
I'm
I
the
can't
Capitals, I'm
score
like, no,
anymore.
you ain't going nowhere.
No, hell no.
Although he can make that a little difficult too.
It could.
That could be a little difficult.
It will.
Because he might slow down.
But with the
big time.
cap going up and all that.
He'll be fine. Pay him what you need to pay him.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in a jam. And Ovi, how about this? Like, it ain't about the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's about your record.
Yeah.
So take $1 million.
Yeah.
And go get it done.
I'll say that too about even guys like Tarasenko and O'Reilly. You know, their contract is up and people are like, oh, are they going to be able to resign? How come they haven't re-signed them yet? It's like, you listen to Doug Armstrong. He's like, well, we don't even know what the cap's going to be. What if it goes up $4 million? Like that'll influence who you can sign, who you can't sign, how much you sign this guy
What
for.
they asked for.
Yeah. So if I'm the player, I'm like, hey, I want to know what the cap's going to be.
No shit.
Maximize my number.
Yeah, we're not negotiating right now.
No one's giving
Not to
these
mention,
guys
Vladdy's probably going to
8-year
score
deals.
36 goals.
He should score 40.
Well, I said the over-under is 32. And the reason why I say that is because he wants to get this contract big time.
Hell yeah.
Homeboy.
It's always been about the contract.
Of course it is.
And I've said that from day
It's with
one.
everybody, to be honest with you. But, yeah.
No. What do you mean? All about every player?
Well, just like, people want to get paid. And
yeah, but when I said what I'm talking about is when Tarasenko was pissed, and people are like, talking about him wanting out and wanting to be traded. It was always about the contract. No matter what you say, like he fires his agent, it's about the contract. He's not scoring. He's not liking his role on the power play, and you start to like panic a little bit, probably internally. Like you have to rehab all these injuries. You're hurt. Now you're not producing. You're like, I got to get out of here. I got to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Panic mode.
Otherwise, I'm not going to get that contract.
I know
that I not only want, but maybe you even need. I don't know.
I know. You never know with some of these cats.
So,
I'm not saying him, but yeah.
Right.
I know.
So that's my. And then now, everybody's like, well, things calm down. Well, it calmed down because like he got his game back. And and he had a career high in assists and a career high in points, and he put up 34
really
goals, and he's playing with Booch.
And look,
he's playing with Thomas.
Yeah, he's got the Russian cats too. Like he's got a good team, high-powered offense.
But he got his game back, and
he's gonna make a ton of money.
And he's in a spot on the power play. Everything just kind of like he's healthy.
But he went through hell.
He did, man. But
he
that's
got bashed by people here.
Sometimes when you're not producing, you're used to being on top of the world, and all of a sudden you're not producing, and you haven't been healthy. You may say things and act on things that maybe you wouldn't do otherwise.
I get that, man.
You know
I agree with that.
So Trotzy, Eggman. Well, that's what they said. I saw somewhere.
You mean Bruce?
Bruce Boudreau.
Because Bruce is a sloppy-looking son of a bitch, and I like him.
Is he?
Bruce?
I think he dresses very nice. Bruce Boudreau is one of the only
coaches barbecue sauce, Bruce?
that I've ever seen who's always in a suit, even in the morning skate. After the morning skate, this guy's always in a suit.
Yeah, but he had barbecue sauce on his face one time,
when?
and that just ruined him.
I don't remember that.
Brody, help me with this.
Barbecue sauce?
Bruce had barbecue sauce on his face.
I think he laughed about it though.
It just was a meme, and every time you see him, he's this barbecue sauce.
Hey, you know what about barbecue sauce, Bruce? Though,
Yeah,
he's at 599 career victories.
He might not get to 600 with that fight.
What if he doesn't get to 600? Do you know that Barry Bruce Trotz is second?
Oh, his middle name's Bruce?
No.
Oh.
He's second all time in the history of the league in games coached.
It's unbelievable.
Behind Scotty
What's
Bowman.
going on with that?
And he's third all time in wins. Behind Bowman and Quenneville.
Dude, he's so down to earth.
When's Quenneville getting back behind the bench? Hey, all these people that like hate on Quenneville and say that he should never.
That many.
I'm just saying.
You know the ones that
say that he should never coach again. Like he's like this bad monster. And then they like live in cities where their team's struggling. And the team's not playing well. They're like, we'd consider it.
Yeah, no shit.
Now we'd consider bringing Joel on board now.
He's a monster. Like Jerry Sandusky or something. Good God. That was a weird situation, man. And they, the Blackhawks are going through some tough times, as they should.
But now it's like, we would maybe consider having him coach in our city.
You would. He's a good guy.
Because the team hasn't won yet. I
know. There's a lot of people that can vouch for that man
in a
lot of ways.
I almost asked Barry Bruce Trotz about it, but I decided not to.
Don't say that because now I'm going to call him Bruce. You keep
I think I called him Bruce at one point, actually. During the interview.
You keep doing that shit.
Because Barry and Bruce kind of sounds alike. I don't know.
He was fucking cool.
He's cool as shit.
You guys are gonna like this, honestly. All y'all up there.
And his daughter's doing cool shit, man.
Yeah.
He's got
He helps his
hammers and
dad.
nails out there. He helps his parents.
Yeah.
You know, like when you hear a coach say some of that, sometimes you just wonder, is it like, well, the option, you know, when they come out, Cam, and they say, yeah, I just got some personal stuff I need to take care of. I'm not going to coach right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes you say, well, is it because he's not happy with the options that are out there?
Yeah.
He'd
No,
rather
this was
wait
legit.
and sit back and go. But then you hear everything he's been dealing with.
And you get it. And selling houses in this market, ooh, God. Buying, selling houses now, man, oh, man. It's tough.
But he lives in a area, because, you know, of course, they put it all over social media, that it's like a 2,300 square foot house. And there's nothing wrong. That's a decent-sized house.
Really?
It's bigger than your house in Eureka,
Yeah,
probably.
right. I don't live in Eureka.
No,
dick.
your other house that you
Oh,
sold.
my God, yeah.
It was bigger than that.
Oh, yeah. 100%. The blue-collar part of Eureka? Yeah, damn right.
So, I mean, and it's actually bigger than the house I lived in 2 houses ago when I first got married. I lived my house,
That's not a big house, but
I'm saying, but to pay $1.3 million for it.
Well, he did say like,
but
well,
then he was like, wait, there's like a garage house and
Yeah.
a regular house.
well, he's
so-
also like, I like to live by the cities now.
yeah.
I'm
and
like,
it
well,
costs more in those
no,
places.
no, because you're living in Nashville.
Mhm.
If you like to live by the city in St. Louis, you're gonna have some problemos. Just so all y'all know.
Problemos.
If you live in a city near fucking a bunch of other fucking cities, you're gonna have problemos.
well, he's not
in
saying
Nashville,
he wants to live
it's
in
like you're okay.
yeah.
That's why everybody's moving down there,
I
and it's
know.
not gonna be okay probably in 10 years. 'Cause it's gonna be too crowded, and there's gonna be some fucking
Well,
shit
they
kickers.
got
down
to
there.
stop telling everybody.
Well,
It's
You're
like a
not-
great secret. It's not a secret anymore. It's like Denver, Dallas, Nashville. Like when I was
Raleigh,
in
North Carolina is
college-
gonna be the next one, just so you know.
maybe.
North Carolina is the way to go.
Yeah, North Carolina's great.
Fuck yeah, it is.
But like when I was in college, like everyone like after college would like move to like Chicago, New York City, LA.
yeah,
And now everyone's going to like
fuck that.
they're not going to Chicago. They're not going to, they're
You
going
can make money
they're
doing.
going
You
to
don't have to go to
Dallas.
New York to make
Like,
money.
I'm just saying where there's like a young up and coming scene.
Houston to there's a lot of places to go, man. There truly is. You know, St. Louis is nice.
I didn't say Houston.
Houston's nice. Austin, I should say.
Austin's a great town.
Austin's nice.
Austin's
Texas
an
as a
amazing
whole.
town. A little hot there
Texas as a
in
whole.
August.
I'd go to Colorado. I'd go.
Yeah, so I'm saying Denver, Dallas,
I'd go to
Nashville,
North Carolina. I'd go to South Carolina. I'd go to Georgia. I'd go to
Charleston. Picking up.
Tennessee. You know, I don't want to go up the north of Washington D.C. It's too expensive.
DC's very expensive.
Fuck yeah, dude! You just gotta go south of D.C. I'd live all over the place, man. But I would never want to leave where I'm at right now. I just love it. I do.
Well, it's important to love where you are, man.
I know everybody.
And you like
It's
that
easy, no
peacefulness,
crime.
man.
I love the drive.
I'm
I
the
love everything.
same way, man. I'm very content.
Me
And
too.
you know what? Real estate is the one way you can, like, people who work in real estate do very well for the most part. I'm not talking about real estate agents. You know, that can be difficult.
It's a hard ass
But if
job,
you
too.
invest in real estate and flip it and turn it, you can make a lot of money.
I just don't want to have to travel. I just want to
I
do
love
it. I just
traveling.
want to chill. Yeah, but I don't want to travel on somebody else's fucking account. I want to do it on my own account. I don't want to have to go here and do this. Like, I wouldn't even. I like what we're doing, Andy. I don't want to ever not do
But
this.
it's important to see different cultures and see different things.
No shit, motherfucker. I know. I've already done that. I'm just saying, hey, Cam, you got to go to Calgary and do this thing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be. I look like
You wouldn't
shit. Like,
wanna
I wouldn't
do
want to.
that.
I'm not good enough. But I don't want to do it. I just want to do this and do radio. And
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't even like to be on video anymore.
Really?
No, I'm kind of like becoming a recluse big time.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's not very good.
I know.
Why
I
is
just
that?
want
Are
to
you
be.
letting yourself go?
Yeah. And I just want to be on the radio and I just want to be on a podcast and I don't want to even show video of anything. Like I just want to give my opinion and entertain this way and just have people think what I look like and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be out of the spotlight. I don't like going places.
Leave it like a little like
Yeah.
suspense.
Like I want to be like the
what
band
what is
Tool.
he- what do you think-
The band Tool, where Maynard James Keenan just would be a silhouette. Like you don't know what he looks like, but you know a Tool, and you think they're fucking awesome, but you don't even know what they look
What
like
do you think
anymore.
people think you
I wanna
look like?
hide.
What do you think people think you look like?
Obese?
No, they
No, it's not that bad.
You shouldn't say
I know.
that.
Well, whatever. But I just don't want to.
You kind of look like a
Andy.
wrestling coach.
You're lucky I'm like this.
I'm just
like-
saying,
no,
your
I know.
sweatpants, your hoodie. You look like a wrestling coach.
I don't like to see people anymore. I like to just chill. I
What is
swear to God.
wrong
I
with
know.
you?
I swear to
Well,
God.
that happens to some people. You know?
I'm done with all of it. I like to entertain. I want to be as popular as possible doing what we're doing, just like this.
Like
my voice, funny, me and you going back and forth, radio stuff, maybe pictures here and there, maybe a little tidbit when we're golfing together, that kind of stuff. But not like all the time. Here I am. I just like to hide, man.
You know what's hard?
I like to just entertain and hide.
When you go pick up your friends from their friend's house.
What?
And you have to go to the door.
What?
When you pick up your friend, pick up your son or daughter. I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ! Well, I don't do that. No, pick up my friend.
Pick up
I don't drive anybody.
Pick up your son or daughter from their friend's house.
Yeah.
And you gotta go to the door.
That's okay.
No. And then you gotta talk.
I'm talking about going to parties.
No. Then you gotta talk for
talking about
20 minutes.
That's
they don't want you there. You don't want to be there.
Then leave.
Kind of like
Then leave. I'm talking about going to events, going to this, going to doing that. I don't know. I rather just hide and be funny and entertaining doing this kind of stuff. And I used to be like, I want to be in a spotlight. I want to be at bars. I want to be, look, me. Now I'm like, I
love talking to people.
I love talking. I like doing this.
I like talking. Listen, you got to find that balance where you have that quiet time, your alone time, your personal time. But you also can't. It's not always good for your soul mentally to not interact with others.
I have my own people out there. I don't need to leave. Like I don't need to be in the spotlight anymore. I want to be in the spotlight doing this and be as big as possible.
But like doing things is not spotlight. It's like
I just don't. I'm just not into it anymore.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know what
to each their own. I can't tell you what you want to do is wrong.
I've been different. 5 years ago, I'm like fucking. Right. Well, 7 years ago, because I went through the time where I was on Suboxone. Oh God, I didn't want to go any. But now I don't know. I want to entertain this way.
It's like Peelsy's never found a tweet.
Oh, I'm the opposite. There you go.
He's never found a tweet.
I want to be the opposite of Peelsy. The FaceTime shit. Like if somebody FaceTimes me, I'm like, whoa! I throw my phone.
I have a heart attack. I
get
scared.
I'm always doing something weird. Yeah. I'm always in a weird,
I'm
awkward.
Not doing
I know.
am not doing.
I throw the fucking phone away. I'm staring at my phone, and all of a sudden, my face pops up. I'm like,
I know.
I throw it.
It's so scary.
I throw it.
And then do you whisper until it stops ringing?
Well, I'm in panic mode. Like, what is that? Who was it? Because you don't see who it is.
I know
you see yourself, and you're in a weird spot. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, get this fucking thing away from me.
Yeah, don't.
I'm weird. I'm different.
Don't ever FaceTime me.
I love all you guys out there.
Barry wanted me to FaceTime you the other day.
Don't ever do it. I won't pick it up.
When we were on the porch.
I know. Well, that's fine. If it's you, I don't care.
We were going to FaceTime
If it's you, I don't care. Andy, I don't care. If it's you, I don't care. But I'm in a weird spot now, man. And I don't mind it. I don't want to like shun away everybody, but I just want to do it in my own way. And I kind of want to hide a little bit.
Okay.
And it's talk to you
a lot of people get like that.
I know.
That's fine. Just don't be like depressed and stuff like that.
I'm the most happy guy in the world. You know what makes me depressed? Doing things.
Seeing people.
I look like shit.
Tweeting.
I just like to be funny this way and stuff. Like, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. Cam, did you know that Hair Club is available all over North America?
And this is another thing. My goddamn cul-de-sac. That doesn't help anything.
Well,
either.
You're not going to see Barry Bruce's daughter's salon anytime soon. Okay.
Who?
Barry Bruce.
Barry Bruce Trotzy. They'll be like, "Oh, why are you wasting your time?
Why are you here?
Here, 2 clips and you're done." Good God! I went to my guy the other day. Just this old man in Eureka. I went at 9:00 in the morning on a Saturday. Was jammed out the whole way there, and he just put me in a trance. Doesn't say a word, and he clips every single individual hair. Oh God.
Hair Club and hairclub.com, Cam. Hairclub.com/Cam and Strick. That is the landing page. That is where you go.
Yeah.
Get your first consultation straight from our landing page, and you're going to save a bunch of money off of your first appointment, Cam, like hundreds and hundreds of dollars that you save from Hair Club and hairclub.com. Hairclub.com/Cam and Strick. So that is the landing page that you go to if you're going to schedule your first appointment. It's that easy. Regrow, replace, and
get your confidence back. Yes. That's what you do. You get your confidence back.
But there's another that I'm forgetting about. It's regrow, it's replace. It's not replenish.
It could be replenished.
It could be replenish. I may have to switch that up.
Yeah, no shit.
Replenish that hair.
Yeah.
Regrow that hair, replace that hair. Restore,
man. Come on now.
Yeah, that's what you do. Hair Club and hairclub.com. We love having them a part of our team here on the Camistrick podcast. Listen, man, firstform.com/Camistrick. You think about First Form. Yeah, there's so many different ways that it's just changed my life already in a very short period of time.
You look
Cam.
good, man.
Yeah, thank you very much, man.
No wonder you want to be in the spotlight because you look good.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, well,
your hair looks good. Your teeth look good. I don't know, your outfit's fine. Like, I get that's why you're at every event possible, and you're always around.
I haven't been very busy. I haven't been able to
you're
go
everywhere
as much.
You're everywhere. Andy's like my conduit to the people in St. Louis. Like, I need him in the mix, and he looks good. Like, you look young, man. I'm not going to lie to you.
Really?
Whatever you're doing, it works.
Is that important? Well, I've been using this
of.
stuff you put under your eyes.
Yeah.
It's made by Disco. They're not even a sponsor, so I didn't want to like give them that much
they don't
love.
give them a shout out.
But
as long as you're working out.
it's like a roll-on thing. You just put it under your eyes, and all of a sudden, like,
I'm looking through my bag right now.
they said it works.
I got my full Mega First Form. This is what I take. I take the heart and brain health right in the morning.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, right here.
What about the fish?
Right yonder.
Fish pills.
Yeah, that's what it is. Right
Oh,
here.
good.
And then I got these meat sticks.
That's
right
for
here.
brain. That's for brain.
And I
strength.
need that more than anything
Yeah,
because I'm slow in the morning and I have to like get going and get going and get going. I take that.
Well,
I
you
do my
gotta
push-ups.
eat those
I
cake
gotta-
cups, dude.
I do, and then I read the paper and I get my brain going this way, and then all of a sudden you got the radio
If you're
show.
out of cake cups, Cam, I'd be happy to bring you some.
That's fine.
Yeah, so I don't know which ones you want. Blueberry muffin. I got the blueberry muffin bars, by the way,
They're good,
which I
man.
hadn't tried that flavor because really, chocolate covered pretzel, the bars, those are my go-to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, you kind of pick what you like. There's lots of different flavors for the energy drinks, but my favorites are the blue raspberry and the cherry lime, dude. And
They're all
I
good,
won't
man.
stray away from those.
And you don't
two.
get the hiccups. So if you have to talk for a living like we do, like getting the hiccups is like a nightmare to do.
Sometimes you have those. I've
you know?
noticed
I
that.
know. At night and stuff.
What's up with that?
Drinking
It's
beer.
very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's not good. But I've had him.
You think Nick First Form gets those?
No, he's perfect. He had a hockey game the other night. Did you
Did
see
he?
his picture?
No.
Nick, I gotta say something right quick. He takes a picture of his jersey on the ground. That's a no-no, Nicky boy.
What would
you're-
Lou say about
Oh
that?
Lou would have got you, Nick, dude. I know you're very
He would have
handsome.
come down from the
I know you
box.
probably put somebody in through the boards in that game. You probably toe dragged some dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you had your jersey on the ground. That's a no-no. Hang the damn thing up and take a picture. That's all I'm saying. Hey, I'm the hockey guy just letting you know. Like, I'm just helping out my guy.
You think Nick First Form wears a helmet?
Yeah, I do.
He shouldn't.
No, he should.
He
'cause
shouldn't wear a helmet.
That's the
out
dumbest
there.
thing ever. Like, you can't, like, pump a guy up and be like, hey,
I'm
don't
saying-
wear a helmet.
Well, he shouldn't wear a helmet.
Listen, all y'all out there, like, Andy thinks he's so cool. When he skates, he doesn't wear shoulder pads. Like, I'm like Kelly Chase. I can go out here like Chaser. Chaser and John Winzig don't wear shoulder pads. Yeah, that's fucking dumb. Oh, look at me. I don't need to wear shoulder pads. I'm too good. No, that makes you look like a
I've
jackass.
been wearing them recently,
Good.
though.
That makes you look like a fucking
I hate
jackass.
wearing them.
Then fucking do your upper body a little bit more. Do some goddamn push-ups. Your shoulder pads are hard, like they're hindering
They're
your
very
movement.
old, Cam.
Well, those are the best.
No, these aren't.
Andy,
I know what you're talking.
All
You're
you guys
talking about
out
like
there,
Brendan Shanahan's.
Yeah,
shoulder.
like-
that. Mine don't look like that.
You don't wear shoulder. Andy doesn't wear shoulder pads. Like, you bump him, he's so fucking fragile. Like, he's gonna crumble into the boards. He's gonna blame it on you. Put some goddamn shoulder pads on, and all you all out there too. I don't give a shit if you're in Canada. Wear the right equipment. You ain't that fucking good.
Don't be
No.
a Leo.
Don't be a goddamn Leo. Like, I'm not wearing shoulder. And all of a sudden, you get tripped up into the boards, and you get up and you break your AC joint, and you're like, well, what the heck, man? What the heck's going on here, Dare? Eh? What the heck's going on here, Dare? How'd you trip? No, he put some fucking shoulder pads on. Dipshit. Sorry, I love all you guys, man. I'm just letting you know. Like, you can't get up and fucking bitch about it. You don't got goddamn shouldies on, dude. You ain't. Who are you, fucking Lindros?
Hey,
Get on with yourself.
my skin though. I'll tell you what, man. You start doing those fruits and those vegetables from
you look
First Form,
good,
dude.
man.
I'm telling you, it makes your skin look good.
See, Andy just craves for fucking like me to throw him compliments and how good
I
he
am
looks.
telling you about the First Form fruits and vegetables. There's no way you're getting enough in your diet. You especially,
Dude,
because
I
you
eat a
barbecue.
Nah. Dude, I'll give you an example. I have Kate. This is what I do. I love roasting veggies. I'll cut 3 onions, 4 carrots, celery. I'll take these mixture of the little tomatoes, the little poppy
Cherry
things,
tomatoes.
little cherry tomatoes. I'll season all this, and I'll get the
Roast them.
I'll get them mid-sized tomatoes on there too. I'll cut off the stem on that bad boy, and I'll let them roast in there with salt and pepper and some good, nice seasoning on that mug. A little bit of olive oil, and I'll let those bad boys roast in the oven. Take them out, roasted, let them sit, and I'll eat veggies. Just eat them raw like that. Bam, 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 bam.
Okay, so while you're doing that,
yeah.
I'm just putting 2 scoops in my shaker, my First Form shaker. I'm shaking this shit up, and I got more than the daily necessary amount that's needed. Dude.
It's easy peasy.
So you do you.
I like to do both. So like on a Sunday when I'm eating McDonald's, I'm not roasting veggies. So that's when I'll take that protein shake.
Stop eating that.
What? That's the reason why I get it is because I like to take the trip.
Hey, can you take Ty to hockey practice on Wednesday?
No,
because I got the Blues game. It's out in Pacific. Can you take him? It starts at 6:50. You just got to him up by
Does Chloe need me? Should we take her to soccer practice too? Or?
No. You got to put
Does the wife need anything?
No, because he can't put his equipment on by himself.
Well, why not?
He can't tie his skates, dude.
Really?
He's 6 years old.
Give him wax laces.
He does.
You can't tie that?
At 6 years old, they don't even know how to do like the tie.
Really?
No. You're so out of touch.
Okay.
What time you picking them up?
They don't know how to tie?
Tie their shoes? No.
His name's Ty. He doesn't know how to tie his shoes?
No.
Really?
No.
He's skating in like toe dragging guys. He doesn't know how to tie his skates?
Not yet.
Okay. I'm just asking.
No, that's a fair question.
Yeah, I'll pick him up.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to take him to Pacific.
Yeah, I will. And I'll take him back too, and I'll feed him.
Yeah.
And, then I'll take
just
Chloe.
No drinking.
Ivy, I'll take her to dance practice.
No drinking that day.
Then I'll take your wife out for dinner. I mean,
whatever you want to do. Just don't.
I'll clean the house.
No drinking that day when you pick them up.
Well, that ain't going to. No, I'm not going to do that.
I know you wouldn't.
I'm not going to take them.
No, you are.
You don't want to put them in my hands anyway. I'm not good with. I don't take kids anywhere. They're not allowed to go in my truck. They're not allowed to even go to my house. I have to like secure the house down for kids to come over. My buddy brought his kid over the other day. We were on the side by side, and I just look around my house. I'm like, I got things laying around.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And I'm like, this isn't like good.
Well, all right.
You know?
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. That is the website or the link that you use. And we're getting a number of our listeners who are making orders, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
So keep doing that.
Damn right.
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Check out everything they have.
Life changer.
And check out the apparel, too. Cam's wearing a hoodie today.
And the hoodie.
And it looks great, man. You look great, Cam.
Don't lie to me.
I got that same one, too. I should have worn it today.
Pamper me like I'm.
What size is that?
Probably double X. Probably double
X.
My God.
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Sparks skate sharpeners. Again, man, I see some of these kids falling. I'm like, well, he didn't use the Sparks.
No shit.
I can tell you who used the Sparks and who didn't. I'll tell you who does. Wi-Fi.
Yeah, well.
That dude's using Sparks.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. Like, the kid could be Connor McDavid, and you got a shitty-ass skates on, man. Your fucking skates are banged up. You ain't doing a goddamn
You're not
thing.
Connor McDavid.
You better be wearing shoulder pads on like Andy, or you're going to be running to the boards like a jackass.
Hey, use the promo code Cam and Strick. People are asking me, what if I just want to buy some replacement wheels and stuff like that? Yes, you can. Use the promo code.
Do what you got to do, homie.
And do it today. Cam and Strick, that's the promo code. Sparks Hockey, man. Steve Jones has been unbelievable in making this introduction to us. It's a game changer. It's a life changer. 25 NHL dressing rooms are using the Sparks as we speak, Cam.
Dang D-dog.
And all the local, hockey shops, they use a Sparks now, too.
Man. It's easy.
CarShield and CarShield.com. Man, you think about people that just change your life, Cam. CarShield will certainly do that.
Make it easy for you, baby. They make it easy.
Even the promo code, it's Cam. I know it's embarrassing, but I tell you because I love you, man. I just want you to use it. All my people in Saskatchewan.
Andy's people in
One of our listeners sends me a message. I got the biggest breaking news for you. I'm like, okay. What is it? And then he doesn't respond.
Yeah, well,
it's like, dude.
He tortured. He texted me. He told me, and I forgot.
He didn't tell you.
Those are my people, dude.
The people
they're going to get breaking news. They're going to give it to me.
Saskatchewan?
Yeah, those are my people.
Those are my people, dude.
Your people are in, I don't know, somewhere nerdy. I'm trying to think of something.
Come on now. We love all the people in Saskatchewan and Alberta who are eating who are eating that Alberta beef.
Yeah, you're not doing that. They got good beef up there, homie.
Oh, yeah. Use Jake Neighbor's family's company.
Oh,
they deliver it to your front door.
I'm going to eat a steak. Will you come over if I cook you steak?
Of course,
Will you eat it?
Yeah, you're going to smother
Your little tummy might get hurt, though. Your little tummy might get hurt, though. I mean, God, my tummy hurt. Oh, God, I can't handle this. Do you think that would happen?
Are your Halloween
Excuse me?
Are your Halloween decorations up?
Yeah. They've been up for a month, dude.
CarShield and CarShield.com. Mention the promo code CAM. I know it's embarrassing, like I said. 10%, because you never know when something's going to go down. It could be a carburetor, Cam. It could be it could be your engine.
You could be your
brakes.
alignment.
Could be
whenever
alignment.
you hit a goddamn pothole, because
God.
St. Louis is supposed to have
My
$750 million coming from Stan
leads the
Kroenke.
league in potholes.
The city's supposed to have $750 billion. No,
It could be an
$1 million.
alternator.
$1 million.
It could be a starter.
The city's supposed to have money from fucking Stan Kroenke, and it's sitting somewhere, and the potholes are out the wazoo. And my fucking
It could
alignment.
be all these things, Cam.
My fucking alignment.
Well, dude, you're hitting things.
Because they're there.
No, you're blaming the potholes.
I'm driving at 4:30 in the morning.
You're hitting cars.
There's potholes out the wazoo.
Watch those deer,
Fuck 'em.
too. I saw 6 deer just cruising. It looked like
Well, those-
one after another.
The thing is, if Andy sees deer near his house, I feel sorry for the deer because they're in like a trap zone where there's highways and fucking people everywhere, and it's just like the disaster. Those deer are gonna die.
What do you think? Yours are free roaming?
Oh my God, we have buffalo out there. Are you kidding? They have
the
rivers.
buffalo are contained. They're not.
Dude, they have
they're not free
They have
roaming
1,000
buffalo.
acres. There's all it is acreage out there, dude. I'm way
How
the
do the
fuck out
tree
there.
leaves look right
They
now?
look beautiful, man.
Are they? We got
Hey,
yellow and red.
It's hard to take video. Like every day I look
Take
at my
a video.
every day I look at my back window and stuff. I'm like, I could video this every day. But
Hey, my
if I can't
Cameo
do
is
it.
still open. I forgot to tell people. I always want to remind people that my Cameo is still available. I had it in my notes.
So is
today.
mine.
And I may even run a sale for the holidays
$3.
My
Are you gonna pay them?
for my Cameo. CarShield and CarShield.com. Nick Hamilton. Say hi to Nick.
What up, Nicky? Bye.
They're the
What up,
man.
kid?
I see the new commercials with Patty and
Is Panger
Ryan
in it?
O'Reilly. Patty may get
Is Panger in it?
an award for that.
Do you think
So-
Panger?
I don't know.
Is
if
there
he's
a
in this one.
commercial in St. Louis that Panger's not in?
I don't know. I think so. I don't think he's in this newest one with CarShield.
Panger finds a way to get in a commercial. He'll pop out like a Jack in the Box at the end. We love you, Pang Dog. We love you. We love all y'all.
CarShield, baby, and CarShield.com. We wish you a happy Halloween. You know who else we wish a happy Halloween to is Dan Bellman. You know, I got a message the other day. True story. I sent it to Danny Boy, and they were raving about the customer service they got when buying their new GMC. And that's what you get with
No shit.
Bellman Automotive. Buick, GMC on one side of the street, Cam. On the other side, you got Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, which means you have something for everybody.
Damn right.
For Aunt Sally, for Uncle Joe, for everybody, your neighbors. Because you don't have any what?
Swinging decks. Your wife could go buy a car and be like happy, and not like sexually harassed.
What do you think the wife would say when they got back? They'd be like, "Wow,
Wow, I'll go there again. I'll actually go hang out there and talk to them because they're actually cool.
Mm.
I didn't feel weirded out.
So Bellman and Bellman.com. Kenny Bellman, Dan Bellman, and Dale. What up?
Little dyke.
Waggle Golf, speaking of cool. Get your waggle on, Cam.
I always do. I always look good when I golf.
Peelsy was telling me, like, you're like, the hole's over here. You don't even know where the hole is. He's like, the
Oh,
hole.
Peelsy, go fuck
No, no.
himself. No, I'm done with him.
No. He says the
I don't give a
hole's
fuck.
over here, and you're like faced over there.
Peelsy, you fucking suck too. Okay, you ain't no good either.
I hear he's pretty good. I'm just saying.
Oh, from who? Him? No shit. From his FaceTime. Did his FaceTime tell you?
So,
he was
dude,
good?
you got to know where the hole is. That's all
Andy,
I'm telling
shut
you.
the fuck up.
Okay.
Good God.
You need to know where the. I'm just telling you what I'm being
Thanks, man.
told, dude.
Thank you.
Peelsy's telling us.
He's telling everybody about everything. He's the fucking video queen.
The video queen.
Good Lord. Put your phone down. You're not even that good at golf anyway. I love you, but come on. Video queen.
Well, that's what I was told, and a few other people that were there.
I don't give a fuck.
So you just
Brooksy?
no,
He's pretty good. He was better than fucking Peelsy.
just know where the hole is, dude.
Thanks, Andy.
Okay, and Cam and I've had a number of people reach out. I don't know about you, who want to caddy for me when we do our challenge
When is that going to happen?
Match-
December? You want to come in December?
match play.
What are we doing?
Me versus Cam. We're keeping score. What's
Okay.
the over under?
I mean, I'll probably beat you.
No, not much. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe not.
Probably not. Well, if you
Depends
don't know,
if I'm
if you don't
wasted.
know where the hole is, dude, you certainly
If I'm
won't be beating me.
completely wasted. I might have taken Adderall or something that day.
I'll be wearing my Waggle Golf stuff, which will certainly cut Maybe shave 4 or 5 strokes.
Yeah, you'll be.
Oh, man. Barry Trotz. Barry Bruce Trotz. By the way, get your waggle off and do it today. Get your waggle on.
Yeah. Good God, motherfucker.
Get your waggle on.com, baby. Hey, the Cam and Strick hats are available on camandstrick.com. Cam, tell them about the hats.
Oh, they're awesome. I need more of them.
Okay.
I know. People want a ton. People keep asking me for the hats. I'm like,
Then tell them to go online.
I
dude.
know. I'm like, I can't.
Hello.
If I can go online.
Hello.
They're there.
Camandstrick.com. Order them. We're on sale right now, actually. They make great Christmas gifts. I want to throw that out there for people.
And we'll sign those bad boys, too.
Yes, we will. We signed them for a guy in Delaware the other day.
Whatever
He
you
was a
wanna do.
big fan of mine.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. He's like, fuck, I love watching you. I love how you're good at interviewing.
Oh, Barry Bruce Trotz, man.
He's
This
good.
guy's the man, and we appreciate him giving us some time. You know, he's taking his time right now.
He would have stayed on for 5 hours.
What's he up to? Listen now. Barry Trotz on the Cam and Strick Podcast. The Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by CarShield. You know, nothing more frustrating, Cam, than when that engine light comes on and you know right off the bat you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to repair your vehicle. Call 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM or visit carshield.com and use the code CAM to save 10%. Yeah. That's carshield.com. A deductible may apply. Save yourself money. Sign up and get your coverage now with carshield.com. Now to the interview. Trotzy.
Barry.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. Well, not as good as you hanging out. We need to be retired, Barry, okay?
Yeah.
Although you're not retired.
Well, not officially.
Hey, if you want to make an announcement here on the podcast, you're more than welcome. We can
be our guest.
We can break some news here today, Barry.
What have you been up to?
Yeah. What am I up to? Today, I just went for a walk and all that, but I spent the last probably 5 months getting my daughter's business up and running. A lot of schlepping, a lot of carrying, a lot of throwing out, a lot of hammer stuff, building. I bought a daughter's business here in Nashville. Got my dad. My mom passed away in January, so my dad was going into an apartment and getting rid of like 60 some years of stuff in his garage and his house, and sorting through that and selling the house, getting him set up, moving from Long Island, selling our house, getting set up in Nashville. And now, and also my wife's mom decided that she wanted to go into an apartment. So we're doing the same schlepping of moving stuff and selling a house and all that. So it's been a perfect storm for when you get my age and your parents get to the 80s and, and they need to go in facilities. So it just all happened all at once.
Okay. So reality is you weren't lying to anybody when you said, you know what, I got some personal stuff that I got to take care of, right?
Oh, yeah. I was not. I was, I did say this. I said, I'm going to talk to teams, and I needed some time to figure out if it was possible, so I still got the passion, still got the drive, all that. But if it was possible and fair to the teams that if I could get all this done, because it wasn't fair just to do it, put this all on my wife. So, and then we have a special needs son who actually aged out of school.
Wow.
So we've got to get him into his next phase of life. So right now I call it his gap year right now until we get everything else done. So it hasn't been a great summer for him. So
wow.
You're busier now than you were coaching, I think. Right?
Honest to God, I am. I have a place up in British Columbia, and I usually make it there for 4 to 5 weeks during the summer. It gets split up with the draft or something like that, but I'm usually there like 4 or 5 weeks. I was there 7 days this year.
Really?
So,
hey, Barry, listen, now the rumor mill is going to get started, because, he's got a place in BC. This would be a perfect.
I know.
He can just come right here and coach at the same time.
Yep.
And he looks just like Bruce with glasses. Hey, I got a funny story about me and Bruce. You asked me a Washington story about me and Bruce. I have a funny one. This is classic.
Let's hear
So-
it.
Let's hear it. Let's go.
Oh, so I think it was my second year in Washington, and we lived in Arlington, so there's a lot of restaurants and stuff. And my wife came home a little bit late. She had some appointments and what have you, and she said, you grab Nolan, and I was in decent shape. Go for a little jog, and I'm going to order food from a place that we could jog to, and then we'll bring it back. So on our way back, me and my son were carrying the food back, and this guy on the bike comes flying by us, and I could, how you could tell he's turning around. He had that double take. So he turns around, he comes up and he goes, "Excuse me, are you the coach of the Washington Capitals?" And I said, "Yes, I am." He goes, "Oh, I'm the biggest Capitals fan. I know everything about the Caps. I've been owned a season ticket for like 20 years, da 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 da." And he's going on and telling me, and I said, "Oh, it was a pleasure meeting you." And he has, "Yeah, me too, Bruce. It really is a pleasure meeting you." And I said, "Barry." And I said, "It's Barry." And he goes, "Pardon?" He goes, I said, "It's Barry." And he goes, "Oh, you're Barry Trotz." And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "So when did you take over the Caps job?" I said, a year and a half ago. And so he just looked at me and he just turned away instead of saying, "Hey, sorry, miss." He just turned away and rode his bike off. So every time I'm walking down in that Washington area where I still have my place in that Arlington area, I always feel like I'm Bruce Boudreau walking around.
Yeah. They think you're Bruce. Hey, listen, they found out.
I'm Barry.
They found out who you were a year and a half after that. I mean, this is a year and a half after you got there.
Biggest Caps fan. Yeah.
I'm the biggest Caps fan.
Once you guys won the. Hey, before we get into some other stuff, I want to give your daughter a shout out. What's her business? What kind of business are you getting up and going?
She owns a salon. It's called Bangarang Beauty Company down right on Music Row. So it's in a historical building. So we remodeled it, and I did a lot of hammering and a lot of demolition. So it was actually good therapy because I could knock down walls and stuff and get some anger out if I was angry and get some fitness in at the same time.
Are you a handy man? Like, can you?
I'm getting handier as the years go by, just because you just do. You have to, yeah. And so, yeah, I'm becoming more handy. Actually, before we came on, I was looking at my fence in the backyard, and I was talking to the neighbor. I said, just because of the heat and humidity in Nashville, sometimes the fences get nails start coming out. And I said, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna tighten this up. If you see me on a ladder out fixing your fence here, that'll be me. Don't get alarmed."
Andy hires people for that, just so you know.
We have a lot in common there, actually.
Andy doesn't have a hammer.
You know what? I would too, but I'm unemployed, so.
Well, not for long after doing this.
Yeah, no doubt.
They'll be calling. They'll be calling.
You'll see.
Hey, speaking of your house, by the way, what neighborhood are you living in where your 2,300 square feet costs almost $1.3 million? I mean, that's like my neighborhood over here.
Oh,
well, I'm in the 12th South area. It's a little deceptive because there's a main house, and then there's a garage with a giant apartment on above it on the other house. So it's considered, it's probably more like 3,800, but
I gotcha.
It's detached. So yeah, no, it's it's an area probably 30 years ago I probably wouldn't venture into a whole lot. But now I just put my skinny jeans on and I can go walk to some restaurants and it's a really good area. It takes maybe 5 minutes to get to like downtown. Not even.
Really?
You probably could walk it. So I've really enjoyed the fact when I was in Washington, I was in that Arlington area. It's called Clarendon, and there's lots of restaurants and we have walked everywhere. So I really sort of started to enjoy the city living, if you will, rather than the suburbs and having to cut grass every day. And we used to have 1 acre and a third. And when I first came to Nashville and God, when it's 95 and totally humid, and you're out there on a lawnmower, you're pushing a lawnmower until I got smart and bought a riding.
Yeah, well, it depends on the city.
Will you hire somebody? Will you hire someone to cut that grass? By the way,
hire somebody to cut
listen,
that.
You can take the kid out of Manitoba, but you can't take the Manitoba out of the kid. Okay.
Hire somebody.
Hey, I came from a small town in Dauphin, Manitoba, Ukrainian background. I mean, if you could do it yourself, you did it. Yeah. You know, that's. But as I got older, I figured, you know what, I'll hire someone. You know.
Oh yeah.
And so I've done that over the. But I'm sort of coming full circle. I'm doing it again by myself. So.
Hey, do you see a lot of NHL guys down there that retired, like Chaser and Hawley and all them?
Chaser's not there anymore.
Yeah, well, I haven't been here very much this summer, to be honest. But I know I went to David Poyle's 3,000th game the other night. I was invited, and a lot of the original pieces from the franchise I got to meet. But I know, you know, like some guys I had coached, like. Victor Bartley, James Neal is retired here, and a number of guys. Nashville is quietly becoming because of Vanderbilt baseball. A lot of those first round picks are, you know, staying in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
You know, half of the NFL have farms outside of Nashville in the Franklin, Springfield area. You've got a number of hockey players that are here, like Ryan Smith moved from Alberta up here. Sebastian Bordeleau. There's so many people, and there's a number of reasons. It's a great city. It's got a really great vibe. Taxes. I sold my house as quick as I could in New York, just for tax purposes. I flipped it. When we asked for the price on the house, I didn't care. I said, you know what? I know that area. And I'm just flipping my house because I know what I was going to get for my house in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Just flipped it, and then I said, you know, I'm going to save a couple $100,000 on taxes alone. So, and then the weather's great. Like I'm sitting outside here today, and it's going to be 83 degrees. I mean, that's pretty nice.
I know. It sounds like you're in a bird sanctuary, by the way. I hear those birds chirping.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm just out in the backyard, so. Yeah, you might hear a plane go by, or
it's very pleasant. It's very pleasant. I kind of like it. It adds something to the podcast. Are you sure it wasn't David Poyle's 30,000th game? I mean, this guy's been around forever. I mean, it's amazing. You know,
he has. It really has. I mean, funny thing is you know, David started with I think it was Cliff Fletcher in Atlanta with the Atlanta Flames.
Oh yeah.
I know his dad was the GM of the Vancouver Canucks, and he came out of school. I think he even went to training camp with Vancouver. He went at Northeastern, and then you know, with his degrees and his hockey background within their family, Chuck Fletcher hired him as an assistant GM. He worked his way up, and obviously went to Calgary when the Flames moved, and then he got the Washington job in Washington. It was actually my first training camp because that year they almost folded. Brian Murray was the coach, and he was my junior coach. So I went to training camp, and it was, you know, I saw, David there, and I was hired by Jack Button. So it was in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And I remember this to this day. I ran up to Jack Button, and I didn't know David, but I knew that he was the GM. And I just want to thank Mr. Button for, inviting me to training camp, because I was an undrafted, undersized defenseman. And I went up to Jack Button. I said, excuse me, Mr. Button, Barry Trotz. And he snapped back. If you know anything about Jack, he was a hard guy, but a good guy. And he goes, yeah, I know who the hell you are. I'm the one who invited you. And the only reason that you're here is you might be a really good a minor league leader or a coach someday. And at 20 years old, I'm like, I just want to thank you for inviting me to camp. So I just said, well, I appreciate it. It's not really what I wanted to hear. But I said, I really appreciate it. And I'm going to make it hard for you to send me home. So obviously, and then I remember sitting there, you know how they used to do the they at Washington they had 3 teams, and I'm sitting there, an undersized defenseman, and I'm on in the locker room. I'm sitting next to Randy Holt and Dave Hutchinson, and if you look at their stats, they're pretty tough guys and a little bit on the crazy side. So I was pretty safe in training camp with those 2 guys. I befriended them real quickly.
Got to do that.
Yeah.
Got to do that.
And David's had a great run, man. And you guys, together all those years in Nashville was incredible. Hey, what was this past summer like for you? So many jobs available. You're rumored to be the, a leading candidate in a couple of different places, and certainly the big dog out there available in terms of head coaches. Like, did you know going into the situation that there was a chance that you were going to take some time off, or were you really thinking that you wanted to jump right back in? Like, how'd you get to the decision that you ended up making?
Well, I just needed some time because I had to evaluate how serious, how much time I thought it would take to get my dad situated. My situation with my son. I knew that I probably wasn't going to stay in Long Island. I knew I had to move. And then there was a possibility of my wife's mom wanting to move, and then getting my daughter's business. And I just needed a little bit of time to really find out, can I do it? Because I have a conscience. I can't just take a job because it's a great job and it pays well if I can't be fully in. And if I'm in, I'm in. I'm totally invested 100%. And I just had to know if it was possible for me to get it done. And really it wasn't. It became clear that there was no way that can I hire someone to do it? Those are personal things with your parents and stuff that you have to select. It's traumatic for some parents, some more so than others. So I just needed to know. So I tried to buy. I basically told them. I was talking with 4 teams. I just said I got to buy a little bit of time. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to talk to all 4 teams and then make a decision. And then some teams said, we want to know right now. And I said, well, you're going to have to move on. So it became pretty clear when I announced it. Winnipeg was the last team I talked to. They were the first team and the last team I talked to. I could have had my own beer. I could have been like Biz out there, having all these products and all that. But it became pretty clear to me that it wouldn't have been fair to any team that I went to, that it would have been so consuming, and I'd probably be divorced at the end of it. So because it's not right. We're pretty lucky in this business. If you're going to be successful as a player or coach or management, you need a great wife. I have a great wife that's had to do a lot of heavy lifting because, our jobs can be pretty consuming. So I didn't feel right that she would have to handle a lot of that. So Brent Peterson gave me, who was an assistant coach for me in my first go in Nashville, and he gave me the best advice. He says, you're going to have a lot of tough decisions in your life. Best advice I can give you is just do the right thing. And it became clear that the right thing was to take care of all the family stuff that needed to get taken care of. Yeah. And then we'll work from there. So that's where I am right now.
Yeah, no. So listen, and it's you need that support from the family. You can't, go. That's what I was going to ask you. Like, were they pushing you to get back into coaching? Because sometimes your kids love it and all that, and they want you to still coach. What about Philadelphia, man? Did they really offer you $7 million a year to coach? I mean, we got to confirm that right here, Barry. And how hard was that to walk away from, especially when you told the wife?
I think that's just rumor.
Oh, really?
I just think that's rumor.
Bad rumor,
but I think so. But it was going to be in the upper ranges, but it wasn't. I don't know. That number came up, but
yeah.
It was good for everybody else that was getting hired, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you just got me an extra $1 million because of that rumor floating out there. It's amazing how much head coaches are making nowadays, Barry. I mean, like what were you making when you first came into the league, as a head coach in Nashville compared to what these guys are making now? It's crazy how salaries have skyrocketed.
This is 25 years ago. I want to say it was probably making like 300 or 400. That's my memory. I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. And you're asking something like that, but I want to say it was probably 300 or 400. Nashville. When I got the job, I was just trying to survive the first year. I was like, please don't get fired before the year ends. Because you knew expansion was way different than it was or is now. I met most of our players up in the press box. Like, I didn't see like a guy like Scott Walker, who was a really good player for us. I never saw him play. In an NHL game, I saw him play in the minors at Syracuse, and I got to meet him. And I saw that he was a fiery guy, and I knew he could skate, and I thought he was a better player than just a fourth line, guy. And he ended up being a really top player for us. He played in every situation, power play, penalty kill, all that. But I remember him in Syracuse. First time he played, I had a good team in Portland, and Kevin Kaminsky, who pound for pound is as tough as, and we were playing Syracuse in Portland. It was a Saturday night, and that place was jammed, and Scotty Walker is skating around right before the game, calling on Killer, and then they're coming off where they came onto the ice. Used to skate around, and he looking at me and he goes, send Kaminsky out. And I'm like, I'm asking the other coaches, I was like, who is this guy? I knew the name. I knew he was from Saskatoon and all that. And I said, Killer goes, I said, Killer, this guy keeps calling for you. You want him? He goes, of course I want him.
He's a lefty.
And they went at it, and that stuck out in my mind. And I watched him play, and I said, you know what, this guy's, he's got some fire in him. I liked his fire. So Vancouver didn't leave us much. So David says, who do you really like? And I said, this is Scott Walker. I said, be honest with you, he barely plays in Vancouver, but man, I just think that there's upside to him. And that was a great year, that expansion year, because there wasn't a lot available, but David made some great deals, and we took some chances on people like, we got Timo Timonen thrown into a deal with LA to, just as an extra. We made a deal with Montreal because they had Thibault and another French goalie that they were really high on, and Thibault and Theodore, and there was Thomas Vokoun who played in Freddie Beach, and we said, we need a goalie. We think there's some upside at this goalie. Why don't we get him thrown in? And they basically just handed him to us. And wow. Thomas Vokoun had a pretty good career for us.
Yeah, he did.
So, so we made a lot of deals like that ended up being really good picks for us. And, we went back to Europe, and I found a guy in Latvia named Carlos Skractic, and Patrick Shelberg that was in the American League. He played a few games in the NHL. I think he was even in Anaheim for a bit. We brought him back, and he was a very useful player, real responsible player. We made a lot of deals like that, and I think we ended up winning 27 or 28 games the first year. And I remember, I think it was game one. We were playing Colorado, game one, at home, and they started at center ice. They had Joe Sakic, Peter Forsberg, Adam Deadmarsh, with Rob Blake and Ray Bork and Patrick Waugh in net, and I countered with the high-powered Sergei Krivokrasov, Andrew Burnett, and Greg Johnson. Bless his heart, soul. What a good person he was. And on defense, we had Joel Bouchard and Bob Bugner and Mike Dunn in net. And I looked there, and I went, we might not win a game this year. That's how it looked.
How was the fan base when it first started out? Like, was it packed? Like, I don't remember. Like, did you guys get a good crowd? Like, how were they?
You know what? Saturday night was packed, and they stood. It was like college. They stood the whole game, and I don't know if they watched the game, but they stood, and it was a good atmosphere. the Tuesday, the Thursdays, was Tuesday would be, probably half full. Thursday would be 3/4 full, and then Saturday would be full. They were pretty good, but they just didn't understand the game. But they love the fights, they love the hits, and we had some, guys like Denny Lambert and Cote. What was the
Patrick?
Patrick Cote.
Oh,
yeah, and we had some beauties, and so they Scotty Walker could go, and so we really competed really hard, and the fans really took to us for that little team that tried really hard, and we'd come up with a big win, and we led the league in closed door meetings for the other team that year. So
yeah.
Hey, I think Cliff Ronning was like your leading scorer for like 3
Cliffy.
or 4
Yeah,
years, something
Cliffy.
like that, man.
Oh yeah, Cliffy. We changed him. He was a centerman, and I said, Cliffy, we don't score a lot. Cliffy, I'm going to put you on the wing. You'll maybe take the draw here and there, but really you're going to play the wing because you're the only guy that can create. So I'm going to sort of let you loose a little bit, and I put Patrick Shelberg. I says Cliffy's going to sort of slide over to the wing after the face-off, and you're the centerman, and we did that. And Cliffy he was great for us. Pound for pound, he was a great little player. He really was.
He was.
Damn right he was. Hey, what about, so like you guys are kind of cruising, but once what was the big change when the fans really started getting into it? Was it when Jordan Tutu came and he just did his thing? I mean, the fans must have gone crazy for him. Yeah,
it was about year 5 or 6, and we started getting some draft choices. But when Toots was unique, as you know, he was one of those guys that he could really fly.
Oh yeah,
and he was the best at coming off the bench on the line change. You lay the puck in deep, and you're looking for a line change, and he would be the first guy off the bench. Didn't matter position wise, and he had this great ability to come flying off the bench, angle, and destroy someone.
Like Carlo Koliakovo.
Oh, Carlo got rocked plenty in his day.
Oh, Tutu just completely.
No, he crushed. But then the fans were like going crazy for him. I mean, he was fun to watch.
He was. I know what he was that because he's not a big guy, but pound for pound, I mean, one of the strongest people you ever meet. But the thing that Toots had the ability, he had speed, but he didn't hit you in the chest. He would hit you in the chest, but the 2 feet behind you was where he was aiming. Yeah. And he would blow people up. I've seen people that I think the kid that was playing for defense for the Islanders, I think it was Martinic.
Yes.
Martinic.
Knocked him out.
And he knocked him out. I saw a kid for Florida. He hit him so hard that he actually was on his feet. The kid was on his feet. He flipped, did a 360 and landed on his head upside down. And he was only 2 feet from the boards, and he did that full spin. And I cannot remember the player's name. He didn't play much in the league, but Toots, pound for pound, he would fight if it was Saturday night, he's having 2 fights.
Oh yeah.
He would have one, and then someone would come. But one of the greatest things that Toots had an impact is everybody knew he was on the ice. And I remember, Detroit had all the Hall of Famers, Scotty behind the bench. They had, Hully and Shanny and Stevie, and you go down and Nick and all them. And Toots would be coming off the bench, and they would all stand up, and he's on the ice. He's on the ice. Yeah. The one thing about Toots, the one player that I've never seen him hit, I don't think he ever wanted to hit him, was Nick Lidstrom.
Really? Just too much respect, or what?
Too much respect, and rightfully so. There's a couple times I think Toots could have had Nick always moved the puck really quick, so you never really got really close to him. But there was a couple times I thought Toots could get into him, and he passed up just because I think he had that much respect for Nick.
Wow.
Because Nick was a guy that never talked back or said anything to anybody. So I think Toots liked that. But if you said something back to Toots, I think he he just, marked it on the page. Okay, you're next. I'm getting you next.
Well, as a coach, though, don't you want Jordan Tutu to run over Nick Lindstrom? I mean, he's playing 40 minutes that night. He's got the puck the whole damn game. Get him.
You do, but you do sometimes. And any in the playoffs, he would try to get him, knock him out. One of the best things that Toots did. Toots was great. We were playing Detroit in the playoffs, and Detroit gets the they had home ice advantage, and Al Slabaka would come out with the and go get the octopus that was always thrown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so we're playing Detroit, and we actually, I think it might have been the first series, we brought a garbage can. We brought our own garbage can, and I started Toots, and I says that octopus is coming. Get it before Al, and we're throwing it in a garbage can because we're now here. We're gonna make our statement. We're gonna start building our brand a little bit, and that was sort of our team. We were heavily outmatched. Obviously, they had some great teams, but we wanted to create an identity that, we're first time in the playoffs. We're here to. We're not. It's not going to be the first time you're going to.
Yeah,
I get you.
So did that happen? Did he get to the?
Yeah, he
octopus?
got it. He got it before Al. Al would grab it and he'd, spin it over his head, and the place would go crazy. Well, Toots grabbed it and threw it right in the garbage can on our bench, and the place went like, "What happened?" And they beat us in I think 6 games, but it was tough on them. I think we even had the funny thing. We're playing them. I said we're going to create an identity, and our bus broke down in the by the Joe there, so we hired a bunch of black cars. We all jumped in the black cars. We raced to the airport because we were playing the next afternoon. It was a strange schedule. We played Wednesday, and then we were playing like Friday after. No, it had to be Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon. And I think it was on, whatever national. And so it was a back-to-back, and it was afternoon games. So we wanted to make sure that we were going to beat them in anything we did. So I paid the bus driver. We were lagging behind because they had their bus. They jumped on, whatever. They got to the plane before us, and they landed before us. And I got our bus driver. We were lagging behind them by about half a mile. I paid our bus driver $100 to pass them. As we got to the city, we passed them, and I said, "That's just a sign. They're going to get. They're going to have their hands full." So I tried little things like that with the guys. We were overmatched, but we were trying to create a identity and make it fun. Make it fun. Hey, we're coming after you. We're not. We know you guys are great, but you know what?
We're not disrespectful.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to have that competitive spirit.
Right.
Listen, you had that two-headed monster for so long with Ryan Suter and Shea Weber, and we had Jason Arnott come on with us, and he kind of blasted Ryan Suter. It kind of like surprised us a little bit, saying that Weber, he just knew right away he was the better kid, and kind of suggested that Suter would maybe complain a little bit. Like, did you have a sense of that? Was one easier to coach than the other? Like, what'd you think of those comments if you heard them?
Well, if I heard him, Suits he's a tremendous player. He's probably going to end up in the Hall of Fame or close to it. They're both. I think Suits is a very competitive guy. Shea is a big, very respectful. He came from the Kelowna Rockets organization, and they really do a classy job. And I think just the difference between the two. I as a coach, you're not in the locker room, and players tend to like other players. But Suits was more of a he was more about himself, and I'm not saying selfish. I'm saying he just worried about his own game, and he didn't worry about the other stuff. And Shea was more of a, he was a captain in Kelowna. He was a captain. He was just one of those guys that he cared about everybody, and that's why he was a captain. Suits just stayed to himself a lot. So I'm a little surprised by that, the comments, but I probably can see it from Arnie's standpoint in the room, but he's a good man. One thing that Suits did, he does stuff quietly, just like Paul Kariya did. I know Paul got a lot of flack sometimes for for stuff, but I can tell you stuff that Paul did. He would go to children's hospitals.
Oh yeah, he was great.
And and he would make huge donations. But he would say, you know, if anybody ever finds out I did this, then I'm taking everything back. And he just wanted no acclaim or a notoriety for doing something really good. And I think Suits was a little bit like that too. So, you know, they just worked at their craft and on
their own program. Yeah. You know, Paul did the same thing here in St. Louis with the children, and he would tell the team and whoever else he was working with, hey, if this gets out, never wanted any of that to get out.
But he was a little goofy on some things, though, Barry. I'm not going to lie to you. His warm-up, I mean, you know. I think I used to come in at, you know, Paul had his routines. You know, he would go and, you know, he had his, well, you play with him, so, you know. And, he had his routines, and you had to be very precise. Like, I know the last thing he did before I would come in at the 8-minute mark is he would go to the washroom and all that. And one time we're not going really well probably that game, and I came in a little bit early, and he looked at me and he goes, you know where I am until the 8-minute mark. He talked to me about, you can't be coming in here any earlier because I've got a routine to stick with, you know. Yeah, and he would take care of the trainers though. He'd tip them out big time because he would. They had to do a lot of shit for Paul Kariya, but he'd tip them out.
Yeah.
Hey,
but you know what Paul did for us. I think the transformation with Nashville from a hardworking, you know, good, you know, a good team but not a great team. When Paul decided he was coming to us after that lockout, that showed that puts a stamp of approval around the league that, you know what, Nashville's legit. And Paul Kariya did that. He decided to come. He studied, but also what he did is he brought a level of elite professionalism to a group of young guys who, you know, we weren't a team packed with superstars. We were homegrown guys. They were young, and Paul came, and the level of detail, be it with his equipment, his preparation, his focus, all that was another level. And I know with Paul, he would have these little games where there was an awareness game and all these things, and he'd be betting and keeping track while we're practicing, not affecting our practice. He wanted to, you know, if you can hit me in the skate with a puck, you know, you could just be, you know, in the corner, standing in the corner, waiting for the drill to, you know, continue, or your line. If you could get it, he would give you, like, there was they had these betting games, and I'll tell you what, our practices were fantastic, and he drove it, and he had all these things, and we ended up having a really good team. We had we had guys like Arnie and Paul and guy like Stevie Sullivan, and then you had Suits Webs, and, you know, we had Danny Hamhouse was a really good player, and Pekka Rinne was coming up, and Thomas Bokun, and, you know, we had some good young team. So
Horty and Tutu, I remember that. That wasn't fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys know these guys now that they're done playing, but you can imagine I started out with Uppy and Toots in Nashville as young guys, and I remember, you know, and we had them stay for the summer in Nashville, and I said, first time that you guys get in trouble, you both will start in Milwaukee. You will have no chance to start with me. And they go, yep. And it was like the first weekend I had to take their names and put them in Milwaukee to start.
Oh, really?
Well, they get, hey, you got to remember, like, those guys are, Nashville's an easy spot to get distracted in.
I know.
You know?
People didn't look at it as much back then as they do now, because so many people know about
back
it.
Then,
I know. And it was
a secret back then.
Yeah. It's funny you say that about Kariya, his impact on Nashville. It's almost like Johnny Gaudreau in Columbus right now. Maybe that changes things moving forward in terms of, you know, what type of players end up going there. Hey, one more thing about Nashville before we move on. But when you first heard they were going to make this Martin Erat trade for Philip Forsberg, like, when they brought that to your attention, like, what was your reaction? Were you thinking right away, wow, I can't believe Washington is doing this trade? Or, like, what was your first thoughts of it?
I was in the room when that happened, And you know, I think Washington had a lot of things on because they had a lot of things going on that day. And I think about 2 hours before the deadline, they phoned and said, you know what, we're out on Marty Erat. And so, and then the last minute we got a call. So they might have had a number of things in the hopper that they thought they had, and they circled around. And this was minutes before the deadline. And I honestly, I didn't know Philip Forsberg. You know, he was a young guy. I was in the National Hockey League, and Martin Erat was a good player for us.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, he was. I mean, he was one of the first guys who were able to, you know, to have some success here. So, you know, and I know it was a last minute thing. That's about it. But and then Phillips turned out to be a great player. But that's, I mean, that's what you know. I think the fans in the cities have their different windows, and you've got to try to find that player as a GM. And George, I think, was in Washington at the time, and he's a great GM. I mean, he built the Washington Capitals that basically, you know, I won a cup with.
Mm-hmm.
Just David built the, you know, the Caps when George went to Washington that went to the finals. So there's times when it works out in your favor and times it doesn't. And you know, they were looking for a piece, and you know how that, you know, it's crazy. I think the trade deadline, the pressures on the general managers and you know, the fan bases. And you know, I'm watching baseball last night, and the Yankees lost out, and you know, Aaron Judge is going to sign. You know, if he's going to sign with the Yankees, it's going to be for a lot of money, or with any team, it's going to be for a lot of money and a lot of length. Well, the Yankee fan base obviously wants Aaron Judge. And if they don't sign him, their fan base is going to be all over, you know, their ownership and management and on social media, and be ripping them apart. So there's different, you know, and then as soon as they sign them, the minute they sign them, the same people will go, well, that's a bad deal. You know, it'll be good for like 3 or 4 years, and then it's not going to be good. So
at least there's no hard cap, though. You can, you know,
hey, he's going to sign for less than what the Flyers offered you. I'll tell you that right now.
And some of in baseball too, you got other teams that only have a $30 million payroll.
But Washington, man, you go there and listen. You got this team. We've had a couple of the guys on. We know obviously Oshie from his time here in St. Louis. We've had Tom Wilson on. Just a cool team, man.
Very cool.
How were you able to bring that team together, you think, just in terms of getting to the ultimate, winning a Stanley Cup?
Well, a little bit of a process. I think, you know, one of the things when I first went there, I had my, you know, when we got the team down, I said, you know, I was pretty upfront with them. I just said, you know, listen, I think we have a really good team. And I had some good people, like Joel Ward played for me in Nashville, and he was in Washington. One of the first meetings, I said, you know, you guys are really talented. And I said, I only see you twice a year. And I says, this is what I felt as an opposing coach. I said, you would beat us 5-1 because you would skill us to death. Or we would beat you 1 because we would check you to death and be physical with you guys. And I said, this is the biggest hockey team in the National Hockey League right now. And I never felt that there was any physicality other than, and I said, one or two players that would be physical. Usually it was Ovi, but no one played a real physical game. And I says, what I'm looking for is I think we can be more physical, and I think we can use that skill level. And if we get the balance, I said, you know, everybody thinks that I'm you're just a defensive coach. I said, defense will win you a championship. But I said, I'm not a defensive coach. I love offensive teams. I love when the D are involved. I love that. But I says, I'm going to coach our team for what we have, all our assets that we have. And I said, like I said to Ovi, I said, Ovi, I can't teach you what you do, but when you have the puck, you do what you do. When we don't have the puck, I want you to do what I ask you to do, so that we can get the puck back to you as quick as possible, and we'll win. And that was sort of where I went with that, is that, you know, we can become a better defensive team and still maintain the offense, which we did, and we won a lot more. and we won President's trophies, but we couldn't get by Pittsburgh until the third year. And you got to have a lot of heartbreak on the way. I mean, you look at some of the teams that had really good runs. I mean, Detroit for 20 years before they started winning, cup after cup, they had a lot of disappointment year after year. The Islanders did, and then they, way back when they won their 4 cups. I mean, every team has to do that, and Washington had that. And it was funny. It was our third kick at the cat with the Penguins. They had won 2 straight Stanley Cups, and Tom Wilson got suspended. Nick Backstrom didn't play in that game 7, or game 6, I should say. He had a broken thumb. And he was trying to play, and I said, you know what, we're going to win this game. Let's be ready for the finals. And we won that game. Kuzi scored. We won on transition by being really structured. And I have a couple of rules. I want good structure without the puck. With the puck, I want you to go. And you got to have that accountability when, to manage the game. I mean, some of the fundamental things I think you see with young players, you don't want to take the stick out of their hands. You want them to be able to make plays and do all the things that they do, so they can be creative, have the puck control, all that. But there's certain times in the game where you just have to manage the game. Can you make the play, or do you put it in the space so you maintain it? The time on the clock, the score in the game, momentum. Right after a goal, you score, they score. There's certain fundamental things that you just got to manage. And once young players understand that, then because a young player will go, yeah, we're up 3-2 with a minute and a half to go. I'm gonna let's make it 4-2 rather than what, I'm gonna manage this. If the play's there, I'll make it, but if it's not there, I'm not gonna force it. And that's where some young players sometimes get in. And even old players get in trouble sometimes, and it comes back down your throat, and the game's tied, and you're going in overtime.
Oh yeah, no, I know you see that a lot. But tell us about Ovi. He is a ultimate superstar. Was he easy to talk to? Would he come in the room? Did you guys have a good relationship? Tell us something about him that maybe people don't know.
Ovi is Jenner. He's a guy that you would hang with. Oh, yeah. He's a man's man. You can be hard on Ovi, and Ovi is good. Like Ovi, he's a guy that that people don't know. The one thing that people probably don't know, Ovi's going to be a really great dad. I think when he went to Washington as a young guy, he was given the keys to a city. They weren't, obviously he was a first pick overall, so they weren't very good. And he owned the city as a young guy. And I think as he matured and got older, he learned to be a captain. He always thought, if I score my goals and I'm hitting and I'm doing all that, I'm doing my job. And I when I got there, I tried to add to his job description. You have to care about everybody else first. You got to take care of this. You're going to have to block a shot when it matters. You're going to have to give something up for the group all the time. And he did. And I think when he met his wife, I could see him growing into that, because he was serious with Nastia, and they got married and they have children. He's gonna be a great dad, and he's a good guy. Like, there's an age difference, but if he was retired and he was 60 like I am, and he'd be a guy you would hang with. You'd love to.
I like that.
Yeah.
He's a guy's guy. He is funny. He's hilarious. He actually is. And he always, my son was over in Russia for 3 years teaching English in Russia, and also learning his language as well. And so he would send me phrases and stuff, and I was learning different little sayings and that. And once in a while, when you got a comfortable lead or something like that late in the game, and someone would do something like Kuzi was a young guy and he'd do something, and I go Ovi, and I throw in a phrase that was Russian phrase that, it would be a little bit sarcastic. I didn't know. A lot of the Russian population doesn't get sarcasm, as my son told me.
It was probably very offensive. You didn't even know.
Yeah, I know.
And Ovi's been North Americanized, so I would say something to Ovi like that, and he would laugh, and he would correct me, during the game, the phrase a little bit. And then he would tell Kuzi, and Kuzi would look at me, and then as Kuzi would have that little smile. But Ovi's a cool guy. He is, and I took a beating from I think a lot of the Canadian public when I said, to me, Alex Ovechkin's the greatest scorer of all time that I've ever seen. I think as a superstar, he might be the most physical superstar I've ever seen. Yep. And I said he's like, to me, he's like a Mark Messier. And I got ripped.
Of course.
Canadian guys were ripping me.
Whatever.
And but he is. I mean, the greatest hockey player. I get this all the time. Who's the greatest hockey player ever? And I've said, we haven't seen him yet. That player doesn't exist yet because evolution. I mean, if you look at a guy, Austin Matthews, right now, I mean, he played 20 years ago. He's Mario Lemieux. So I was a Bobby Orr fan all my life. I still am to this day because of the person he is. But it's all to me. It's in their time as players who has the biggest distance from the next best guy. But the skill level right now is tremendous around the league. Speed is tremendous. So it's really changed a lot. You still need. You need the skill. You still need, in the playoffs, you still need a physical element.
Oh, yeah.
There's no question. And it's, winning doesn't happen without disappointment on the way. That's one thing I can say to any fan base. You're going to have a lot of disappointment before you win a cup.
Vegas
hit lightning.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
Vegas almost did it.
And we saw that here in St. Louis. They lost in the first round 3 years in a row before finally getting to the conference final and losing again. And, before eventually, getting there. But I'm curious because, you win a cup, Barry, and I know that meant so much to you. I mean, it has to for any coach, obviously, when you win a Stanley Cup for the first time. It may shut up naysayers. It may shut up the people who question whether or not you could do it. And it may confirm to a lot of people that they already knew you were a great coach. But when they don't bring you back and you don't, find a way to come to an agreement on a contract extension, did that hurt you personally, or were you able to move on from it because you knew you were just won a Stanley Cup and you were going to have plenty of options out there?
Well, just clarify that a little bit. I had a clause in my contract where there was an extension that would kick in, but when I joined the club, and I met with the people in charge, I said, the coaching, everybody's it's going up, so I said, if we win a cup, I'd like to, be in the sort of in the top 10. I'll be 10th. I've been in the league a long time. And there was sort of an agreement there, a verbal agreement. And at the end of the day, it didn't come through. So I just said, I'm going to, sort of resign, and walked away. I didn't know. There was no jobs there. I guess the Islander job was the only one out there. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't know Lou or anybody. So I was just going to take a year off. And then all of a sudden I was the next coach of the Islanders. So, but I don't, it was just, to me, it was simple. It was my decision, to do that. And, to me, it was, I love my time in Washington. The franchise is a great franchise, and I love the players. Obviously, you win a cup with those guys, you're tied to.
Oh yeah.
And as you know, in St. Louis, and those are great memories. And I don't have a bad word to say regarding, my situation. I just knew, I got the best advice ever: do what's right, and it felt that I was doing what was right, and so, anyways, I walked away thinking I'm heading up to British Columbia, and it changed in very quickly for me there. Enjoyed my time in the island. It was fantastic. One thing that I honestly, and I think this is something that to me is a gift of mine, is, I look forward. I don't look back, and I don't hold grudges. There's very few grudges in my life that I've ever, held, and I think that's made me successful as a coach. When a player messes up, I look at them just as my children. My children are going to mess up sometimes. Doesn't mean I don't love them. I just want them to correct their action and not do it again. So I don't hold grudges. So I don't have any ill will to anyone, and so I think that's kept me alive, especially in the coaching.
Oh yeah.
Because,
I get that.
That's a great way to go about your life. Honestly,
Yes.
you can't help it. What about when they're swimming in a fountain, like in the middle of the city, and they're celebrating,
Waterboarding themselves,
and drinking beers out of their jersey?
Were you a little nervous about it? Were you like, God Almighty?
You know what? I'm going to take responsibility for that whole act, for their actions. One of the things that I said to the players when we met and we were, I said, when we won the cup, that fan base has struggled with all those disappointments for so long. I said to the players, I said, you guys, whatever you do, I want you to enjoy this. We're tied together forever. But I says, if you get a chance, take this to the streets. The fan base really needs this, and they did. And I remember going to, we started that, we had the parade, and then we went to the Nats game, and the Nats were fantastic. They had this giant room, and I think they had three fridges full of beer, and then within 10 minutes they were empty.
Gonzo.
They were empty. And I think a lot of the point, we had no sleep, and we had drank so much that you couldn't even get a buzz on anymore. And we went from there. We went down to Georgetown, which is beautiful on the water. Mm-hmm. And the guys were doing keg stands with the Stanley Cup, and they were going from every player. And us coaches were there and all that. And I said, you know what? It's time to go to the washroom here. And then I walked out, and I saw everybody in the fountain. And I said, you know what? I think it's time for me to go.
See you guys.
Oh man. Yeah. Hey, they were fun, man.
They were hilarious.
Those are fantastic stories, and some of the stuff that that they had people that were sitting at that restaurant that were well dressed, even joining them later on, and dancing in the water and all that. So,
and like Ovi's so cool. Like, he's just walking around. He's just like fun. He's wasted, but he's funny about it.
I know.
He's just the best.
It set the tone, though. I mean, because the Blues went crazy too, man, the next year. Yeah. And you see other teams try to follow in their footsteps in terms of
cool.
In terms of who can part. Yeah,
I'll tell you what. That was the Blues were a good team to follow up. That's for sure.
Damn right.
Oh yeah,
the city needed that.
You got some professionals over there.
We know how to drink in the Midwest over here. Trust me.
Yeah, they're
especially
pretty good
in this
at
city.
You got an advantage. There's a thing called Budweiser right there. So.
Oh yeah.
All of our locker rooms are stacked.
And
there's a lot of beer.
Hey, you talk about the fan base, though. I mean, the fan base needed it here, too. So it was like a release of emotion and energy throughout the entire
Blues are
city.
great about letting everybody get involved, too.
Oh, yeah.
So it was awesome.
Yeah.
So, listen, you go to the Islanders, and listen, you go to 2 conference final, and then that doesn't end up working out, at least last year. But were you blindsided by that? Did you anticipate getting let go by the Islanders? And you've been doing this for so long, Barry. You've had so much success. Like, do you handle that differently than maybe you would have earlier in your career?
Oh, yeah. I handled it way differently, I think, than what I would have earlier in your career. I think, earlier in your career when you get let go, you're thinking, where's my next gig? I got to find a job. I got to take care of my family, all that. I think when you get older, and I obviously am older, I think you look at it a little differently, and obviously you're probably I'm a little more secure than I was when I was, 27, 28, 29, so yeah, no, nothing surprises me in this game. So I've got good spidey sense, because I've been part of it's like 38 years I've been behind the bench. And really, it was really strange. Like I said, I went to David Poyle's 3,000th game the other day, and that was the first time that I wasn't behind the bench at an NHL game.
Wow.
And so it was a little strange, but it was great because there was a lot of the original pieces. David asked to come back for that game that started the franchise, and nothing surprised me. I started in Nashville basically, as a pro scout. I was an amateur scout, and then I became a area scout, and then I was a head Western scout, and then I worked with the minor league team, and then I was a head coach with the minor league team, and then they moved up to Portland, and then I started sort of signing all the depth players. Jack Button would say, here's your 12 players that we're sending to Portland, and you sign the rest. You get us some depth players. That's what we're looking. And I dealt with agents getting those players, and that's how I got Kevin Kaminsky, Brian Kern, those type of players over the years. Andrew Burnett, I had him start in the Coast League. A guy like Steve Popst was in the Coast League and ended up playing games. So I did a lot of that. And then obviously when I went to Nashville as a head coach, they didn't have a team the first year. So everything from learning the pro side of scouting, the rinks, ordering carpet, hiring people, they did all that. So I think I always had a wider view of not just the team, but the organization because of that, because you were always a part of that. It was such a good learning experience that first year. And then obviously I was in Nashville for a long, long time, and then going to Washington and working with that group, winning a Stanley Cup, and then going on to the island. And, I've worked for, I think I've learned a lot because every organization's run differently. And, David, I think I'm sure he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Lou's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And, Mac's a lot younger. And if he keeps going and having good teams as he has, who knows, maybe he'll be there as well. Do
you think Cam will be there in the Hall of Fame,
Andy.
Barry? You think Cam Jansen will make the Hall of Fame?
I'm going to be there with him. Hey, how was Deal?
Cam?
Yeah, Cam.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something.
He's trying to be funny,
Cam.
and it's not. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say something about Cam. I saw Cam. When I saw Cam fight, I'm on the bench and I'm like, Cam, you got to get Cam in the first 10 seconds of a fight, because after that, I've never seen a guy have more staying power in a fight ever. I'm just saying. He would hang in there. And he would stay, and he had the longest fights, and he always won. But if you didn't get him in the first 10 seconds, man, you were in one. I mean, really in one.
Yeah.
And I admired you for that, because that is a tough job, and you did it well.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. More like
see
the
that,
first,
Andy?
more
Take
like
that
the
and like
first
it.
60 seconds, because then
Well, Brian McGrattan.
then the fight would start. Hey.
Yeah.
And I know Cam wants to, talk about Lou for sure, but I'm curious, when you're the head coach, because nothing ever gets out. When Lou Lamoriello is the GM, there's no rumors that come out of the organization. Yeah. No one's breaking any signings or trades. Do the coaches even know what's going on? Is he telling anybody in the organization what's happening, or is he keeping everything quiet?
I would say this: Lou shares information with a tight-knit group of people in the organization. If you're a head coach, you usually have an idea. He's very good. He's a very good communicator, but there is a trust. That's all. He just has a trust and an understanding within the organization that, if something is between you and him, it stays between you and him. And at the appropriate time, then it'll get let out. So anybody, there's so many things about Lou that people assume, and a lot of them are so inaccurate. It's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Lou takes care of people, and he's and there's nothing personal. I talk to Lou, now, and he let me go. We probably talk, once every couple of weeks, so all through the summer. So he's a really he does things that people have no idea. He's just he's unique. He's some ways there's some of that old school that you would admire.
Oh, yeah.
And there's that discipline that is gone in society, that is installed within the organization. That as you know, and he just I admire how he's so principled. That's the best way to say it.
Mm.
Now, he'd always be around the locker room too. He'd always be the first one in there, and so if you have a chew in your mouth or something like that, you got to get the old loose symbol to all the rest of the players, so they know that they get.
Did you have to shave? Remind me if you had to shave, Barry. Do you have to shave on the bench?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got a beard right now because
Yeah.
I don't have the, but everybody did, and that's unique.
Mhm.
You don't see that. Some guys are very vain and go, hey, I want long hair. Well, you know what? You're playing the game. There's certain things that and people don't understand. There's a certain discipline that every morning you got to shave. Like it's like every morning you have a responsibility, either to your organization, to your teammates, whatever. There's guys like you guys have Nick Leddy in St. Louis now. I mean, Leds could shave, get in the car, and get back to the rink and have to shave it.
Yeah.
I know.
And he'd call you out for that too. Or if your socks
He'd
were
be like, why
the
didn't
wrong
you
way.
shave 3 times today?
It wasn't just your shaving. It was like you couldn't tuck your jersey in. Like there's a lot that you
Really?
have to remember.
Yeah.
A lot that you have to remember.
Mm.
Oh, and he would call you. He would come up, Andy. He'd be all the way upstairs. And if I had my elbow pad sticking out just a little bit when we were practicing, he would walk all the way down, come on the bench, and then tell me in front of everybody. I'm like, okay, sorry about that.
Hey.
Yep.
Hey, how was
See, you just have to follow the rules. You'll
That's
be
it.
fine.
I
Exactly.
know.
Well, no shit. It's my fault.
Don't be a rule
Don't be a
breaker.
fucking idiot. And then he won't call you out in front of everybody.
Hey, how was your relationship with a guy like Robin Leonard? Like, I'm curious. Like, he came on with us, had an unbelievable season with you guys, and ended up leaving. But is he a difficult guy to coach, or was he easy to coach for you?
He was easy. Robin's had a very difficult past. I think he's got a lot of has had a few demons, as we all know, and he talks about them. So it's not. I'm not saying anything that's not public.
No.
And I really, the New York Islanders were the best thing for Robin Leonard. There was a discipline that Lou had within the organization and expectation, which forced Robin to understand and have to keep some of that discipline, because some of his demons were from maybe not being overly disciplined. I think I was probably the right head coach to have Robin Leonard, because I understand a lot of the past. I've had a family situation in my early years that we could relate to, and I was able to talk to him. I came to a great group of guys on the Islanders that didn't judge him. And then he had Piero Greco and Mitch Korn as his goaltending coaches in tandem. And I think the way we played, and then having a guy like Thomas Greiss as his goaltending mate was key too. And it was good for him. And I think we had great success because of the team, because of his willingness to stay disciplined and all that. And then he had a good run with us, and I'm pretty sure we would have resigned him. But I don't know what happened between him and the agent, all that. But it got to a point where I think probably where Lou said, I'm going to have to know where you stand at such and such a date, or I'm going to have to go look for something else. And I think they probably got to that date, and he had to look for something else, being Semyon Varlamov. But Robin was actually pretty easy to handle. What has happened since? If you've heard different, it is. He was very easy to handle.
Yeah, no, he was great when he came on with us. Only a couple
awesome,
more questions. We're gonna let you go, man. You've been great, and we appreciate your time. Yeah. Hey, I'm curious as a head coach, when you see the fire and the pressure that, I mean, you guys are all under pressure. Don't get me wrong, but that the Canadian coaches have to deal with, like just the media and all the attention. Like, is that something you would welcome, like personally? Would you want to coach in Canada? Is that something you would want to do? I mean, you've been in Nashville and some of these other quieter cities. Would you ever want to deal with everything that comes with it?
I don't know if any coach that takes a job in Canada ever wants to deal with it. I think there's like Original Six. For me, I've never coached Original Six. That would intrigue me, because I grew up with the original, not the Original Six, but the 12 anyways. Well, I guess I'm born in 62, so there was Original Six, but those teams always intrigue you. But the Canadian teams, you're under the microscope, but you sort of are in New York too. So I wouldn't say I wouldn't, but you know that there's a certain demand on you. Like I know some of the Canadian coaches, God, you probably can't go anywhere. No. You step out of a restaurant and people are on Twitter saying, you're there. I don't have much of a life. So I think it takes a special coach, special players to play in Canada, because there's a different pressure than some of the non-traditional markets,
Yeah, no, I get you on that. Hey, last thing from me, Barry, you've done a lot of cool stuff, winning the Stanley Cup, coach forever, great guy. But the baddest ass thing that you've ever done is you took a puck off the forehead. Oh my God. And just ate it like a champ. And there were so many memes after that with these soccer players falling and stuff like that. And they showed that over and over. It was pretty damn cool. You are very tough, by the way.
Well, it hit me in the right spot. It hit me in the head. If it would have hit me in the arm, I probably would have rolled over or something like that. But, hit me at the hardest point of you know what? It got me, and my kids were they were howling. They were like, yeah, we've seen that before. It's not the first time he's taken a header or dropped the ladder on his head.
Now you're a handyman. Shit.
Yeah, you're a handyman now. Hey, last thing. So where's your mindset now? Like, have you gotten enough personal stuff out of the way to where you have more free time? I'm sure you're watching hockey every night anyway, but when do you see yourself getting back behind the bench? I mean, does it have to be the right situation, right city, lifestyle for the wife? I mean, how do you decide what's best for Barry Trotz?
Well, I think number one is I'm not quite there. I think probably to get everything settled, I'm going to be into the early December before I feel comfortable that I've got the family stuff in control. After that, I'm probably gonna see. I'm gonna have to take a little break in terms of a week or two, just maybe go on a little trip to somewhere warm or something during the winter, and then after that, I've been watching a lot of hockey. I follow a lot of the sites, obviously, that I've followed as a coach to get info and what have you. I'm having a little trouble because I'm moving a lot. The streaming thing as a non-traditionalist is a little harder to watch hockey with all the streaming going on. When you're flipping borders, I'm finding at certain apps. And so it's a little harder to find games, but I'm watching probably at least one, maybe two a night. But I watch more West Coast games this year just because I'm busy during the day, and then at night I'm able to actually sit down and watch something. But I probably listen to a lot more games and keeping up with the league. I'm keeping up with the East. I know the East extremely well from obviously coaching in the East, and I'm getting more familiar with the West more and more because I've been in obviously Manitoba a lot more this just because I'm both my dad and my mom, or my wife's mom, is there. So I'm getting a lot more familiar with the West. And then obviously I'm in Nashville, they're a Western Conference team, and you see them a little bit more. So that's been the process. So yeah, I have been watching quite a bit of hockey and keeping up with all the sites on stuff. I think it's important as a coach or anybody in hockey, if you're and you still love it, you stay current. I talk to Hitch and talk to different coaches that call me. I'm out of work, so I'm a good sounding board for a lot of coaches in the league, which I know. So, but you have to stay current. And one of the guys that has always stayed current within the league, and Hitch is dialed into what's going on.
Yeah,
so
he probably watches 15 games.
Yeah.
He
watches them twice, actually,
all night,
Barry.
all day,
he
all
watches
night.
every game twice just to make sure he didn't miss anything.
Oh yeah. And the funny thing, we used to do this. Obviously in the summer, I'm in. I live in Vernon, and he lives in. He used to live in Kamloops. He lives in Kelowna now.
Yeah.
But we used to meet in this tiny little town, halfway between Kamloops and Vernon. It's maybe like 300 people, and we would go there and we'd have breakfast and we'd have our computers and we'd all talk about all the trends and show different things that we think are changing in the league, and you'd always have these bike rallies, and you'd have these the husband and wife on these bikes, and there'd be like 200 of them, and they're going across British Columbia, and they actually stopped and they looked, and there's me and Hitch, and they're, what in the world, this little place in the middle of nowhere, that both of us are there, and we're
going over notes.
Yeah, going over notes and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
And so we'd always do they all want pictures or whatever, so.
Pictures of Bruce.
Hi, Bruce. Hi, Bruce.
Yeah, you think they want pictures? That's pictures of Bruce they're looking for. No. Yeah. So hey, and last thing, I should say, all the country music stars. Did you become tight with any of them? And like Carrie Underwood, was she around all the time with Mike Fisher? And that environment, it's so unique compared to other environments around the NHL. Like, were you ever, did you connect with any like superstars, celebrities that are hanging out there in Nash?
Yeah, well, when I was in Portland, Maine, I got to know Garth Brooks really well, because I know the guys that his manager is Brian Kennedy. He wasn't a manager at the time; he was a songwriter, and one of my good friends is Rodeo. His name's Dan Roberts, and we met in Portland, and he played 5 shows there, and after the shows, what Garth does a lot of times is he has the whole crew. They would do things after, like when they were in Portland. One night they had a lobster bake on the beach, and he took them to LL Bean and he gave them X amount of dollars to spend, and they shut the store down. And then they won Dan and Dan Roberts and Brian Kennedy. They're hockey nuts, and they said, "Do you think you could ever get ice?" And I said, "Yeah, you can." And I phoned, and we had Garth and his whole crew out on the ice after a concert, and we got skates and all that, and he dressed up, and they said Garth could skate, and he could, but we didn't. They said he could skate, but he couldn't stop. So
same with Andy.
And he's very competitive, as you can imagine. And he would skate, and he was building up some speed. He was going pretty good, and then he didn't have that stopping thing down, and he went crashing into the boards. And I kept saying to myself, Paul Gardner was my assistant coach at the time, and he was there, and I said, "World Tour is ending. He's going to bust his leg." But he's very competitive. Oh yeah, very competitive. And we got to know Garth a little bit, but he's so busy. He went, obviously he went back to Oklahoma for a while and that. But that was the first touch of greatness, and he's a really cool guy. And if I walked into a room and he was in the room, he'd come over and give me a big hug, and I'd do the same. And then obviously with Mike Fisher, Carrie Underwood, our family members, my daughter is in the hair and makeup business, and so she does a lot of the CMA stuff. So cross paths, and we and her husband is they hang out with Carrie a lot. So yeah, you run into a lot of the country music people over the years, but there's just a lot of celebrities here. Nashville's a hidden place for baseball, hockey, and really the not the music industry, but the film industry.
Yeah.
A lot of there's just because of the taxes and the lifestyle. There's no paparazzi here, so there's limited paparazzi.
Not now.
Hey,
not now.
Listen, when you bought your house, there was a rumor that you were going to join Nashville's like hockey ops. Like, can you set the record straight? Like, are you looking to be a GM one day? Is that something you'd want to do? Or are you strictly just a coach behind the bench?
I can't really answer that. And the reason I can't is I'm just sort of consumed with what I'm doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have the ability. Obviously, I've coached for a long time, and then the training that I think I learned from, 38 years in the business and doing some management stuff and some stuff with Nashville, and then learning from guys like Lou and what have you. I think I have the skill set to be able to do that. Have I, do I know what I want to do right now? As of today, I don't. So I'm just trying to get, once I think I get all these family things out of the way, that will be a time to sit down and really know what I want to do. And I think I'm equipped to be able to do both.
Yeah, you can. Well, you absolutely
can do whatever the hell you want.
Just don't do it at the same time. That didn't work out well for Keenan. And, that's too much. Yeah. So pick one or the other.
It's impossible.
No, you can't.
To do that.
No.
Yeah. It's old school coach and GM. That don't work.
No,
hell no.
It's pretty. The whole league is pretty specialized. So
yeah,
it's. I think the league from, you guys are still young, but I think it became it was a mom and pop league to big business, and every team has so much at stake, and the dollars are so big and such big staffs and all that. So
unless they paid you twice as much,
unless they gave you 10,
Philly would give you $14 million a year to be the GM and the coach.
Okay, fine, I'll do it. We'll go old school.
Hey, listen, all the best, Barry. You do whatever you want to do.
Yes.
Kick your feet up and enjoy your time with your family too, man. And congrats on all your success and everything you've accomplished. So,
guys, anytime.
Hey, appreciate it.
Who's your favorite team right now? What team do you think?
Well, the Blues, that kind of directly affects us because we're here in St. Louis, and we'll probably monetize it.
Well,
and they're good, and we love Craig Berube, and we all know Andy's really tight with everybody as well. So we want them to be successful. It helps our radio shows out too. I keep calling you Bruce. He screwed me up on that. Like, my God, Barry.
I know. But hey, the favorite team though, I like that Buffalo team. I got to be honest. I like watching teams that like people don't expect to be great.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't give them enough credit.
I like Vancouver right now.
Yeah, Vancouver's pretty good too. Yeah.
Well, I Buffalo to me is a team that no one talks about. You're right on. They're a good team. I saw Philly here the other night, and Torch was doing a really good job with Philly. I know they lost yesterday, but they reminded me that I saw them play against Nashville, and they reminded me of my first year on the island when we lost John Tavares, obviously through free agency. They remind me of us that year because they got a really high commitment level. It's good to see Carter Hart playing at a level that I think everybody expected him to play.
Sure.
And they're playing hard. They're playing with pace. They're playing with structure. They're hard. They've got hardness on every line. And you don't go close to their net because if you want to take a whack here or there, that's just go close to the goalie and you'll get whacked. So
hey, things change listen, if you would have asked me last week, I would have said the Rangers, right? And I think they've lost 3 out of 4 or something like that. Things change every week, man. So
we like Torts too. We stick up for him on this podcast.
I like all the old school coaches,
no doubt.
Torts is one of the. Here's my wife sees Torts' interviews.
Yeah,
and she met Torts because we were in the American Hockey League. We used to go to the meetings in the American Hockey League, and Torts are there, and he's a terrific guy. He really is. And she'd look and she'd see his interview and she goes, "Who is that guy?" Because that's not the guy she knows.
No, he doesn't care. He just he speaks his mind, and you got to appreciate that as well.
That's right.
I think the players do too.
They do.
They do. There's an honesty there that is undeniable, and he's good. And you know what? If Philly, he's a perfect guy for Philly.
Oh,
he really
is.
is.
For that
in that town.
Oh, for that town.
Oh, everything.
And he is who he is, though. That's what I like about him.
He doesn't change.
No, because and you saw that when he went on TV, and I think he was like, "All right, get me out of this TV thing," because he's saying what's on his mind, and everyone's like trying to criticize him for being honest.
I know.
It's like,
you
know. So hey, you're not getting into TV anytime soon, are you? I'm sure they're calling you, asking you to jump on.
They called me right out of the gate.
Yeah.
I says this face is made for radio, not for TV.
Well, you could join us on the podcast if you want.
Yeah, exactly.
We need a third guy.
So.
You'd have fun.
All right, Barry. Enjoy,
Barry,
man. All the best to you.
All right, take care, guys.
Okay,
see you, bud.
You too.
Right
Take
on.
care. Bye bye. The Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by Bellman and Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Get out there to Detroit, Missouri. Check it out. On one side, you got the Buick, the GMC. Options for everybody. Then right across the street, you got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Again, find something that works for you and get yourself a new set of wheels in time for the winter. All right, that was Barry Trotz, a.k.a. Bruce Boudreau. Although, in reality, they look nothing alike.
Well, they're both not
They were
models.
in Washington, D.C., so that's why, the guy made the confusion because, Bruce had a great run in D.C. too, man.
Yeah.
With the Capitals.
Yeah. But they kind of do look alike a little bit.
I don't want to chirp Mike Yeo because I like Mike Yeo, but, he's in Vancouver now with Bruce. Sometimes that losing man that can just follow you around, dude.
Yeah, dude.
He was in Philly last year.
He's been through some bad times.
He's got to have that energy, man. You got to be excited. They got to pump people up.
Nah, not always. I mean, there's this. If you're good at something else, like you just got to be good at something. Like, is Ray Bennett pump up guy? No. He's a fucking X's and O's good dude.
He'll prepare you like a mother.
That's what he's good at then. But you just said you have to have that. I go, well, not
yeah,
necessarily.
I know. But like when you're losing though, you got to bring some like positive.
You just got to be good at what you're good at.
And I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying in general.
I know. As usually assistant coach, you need somebody like that.
Yeah. Like my guys, when I coach, they know that they can come to me about anything, man. They always know.
Oh, I bet.
Like if things aren't going well.
Oh, I bet. Andy, how do I play physical? Well, let me tell you. Back in my day,
I can tell
I used to fucking bag guys up.
I can tell them though, man.
What do they ask you about?
Sometimes there's like a little gray area, like what's expected. Maybe coach is being hard on them or something. They just need, you know what I'm saying? What does he want me to do here?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? How do I spin off a guy here?
What do you say when they ask you that? What do you say? What do you say?
Well, they don't ask that specific question. But like everyone brings something different to the table, dude.
Well, I think what they'd ask you too is like, hey, how do I get in? Well, this is what you need to do. Fucking get the goddamn puck off the wall. You didn't get the puck. We watched a video. You didn't get the puck off the wall.
Right.
Stop. You got to make a play when you come out of the zone.
Right.
You turn the puck over.
You can't turn pucks over there, man.
What are you doing? Stop on the damn thing. In fact, why are you the last guy back?
Right.
Why do you take it? Why didn't you hit this guy? You got to finish him. Mm-hmm. If you would have finished him, he wouldn't have scored. Stuff like that.
100%.
I
got a good read for men. Individual
I know you
play,
do, Andy. I chirp you a lot. I know. I chirp you because you set me up to chirp you. And I don't want to be a dick because you're good with the kids and everybody. Listen, I do my homework. Inadvertently, I hear everything, and everybody likes you, man. And there's a lot of times I hear bad things about other people, and it's not about you. Just so you know. I don't even want to fucking know.
And I love coaching. It's becoming harder and harder, though, Cam.
Well, you got your own shit. You got to worry about me and Ty.
You get to a point in life where you're like, man, it's hard being at the rink with other kids.
Not your son or your Chloe who's dominating, and then Ivy's going to be doing shit. She'll probably be dancing all the fucking place. Not like what Kate did, like for the school. Like you're going to want to go see her. You've been all your fucking supporters with Chloe and fucking Ty. Now you got AAA shit you got to do. Like you got to deal with me. I'm your biggest fucking kid you got to deal with. Yeah. You need to worry about me,
you got
too.
work, too. Like, I'm at the rink. I'm at the rink every day.
Well, fucking take something out.
Yeah.
Take something out.
I know.
You can't just come in here and bitch about it. Well, fucking do something.
Well, no, there's no bitching.
Well, it's becoming a lot.
I love it, man. That program's near and dear to my heart, man.
Well, I know. I actually played in the program.
Yeah, I know.
You remember that?
We got the Pee Wee Quebec dinner coming up. I'm dragging you out of the house for that, Cam.
Well, I almost said no to that.
Yeah, but I won't. Don't say why you're coming yet. Just hold off on that one.
Why am I coming?
Okay, good. You forgot already.
Why am I coming again?
I'm not going to tell you right now.
I didn't make the fucking team.
You didn't make the team.
No.
They cut you.
They cut me. The one team the only team I never made.
Does that hurt you to this day?
No. I would have been
Well, you said you didn't want to go to the dinner because of that.
They should. Well, it's like I'm not going to get all into my house. Like they need my support. Why would they have my support?
I guarantee you're
what
the
they
only,
want me there for.
You're the only NHL player from St. Louis that didn't make the team.
I know.
Who was coaching that? Was it
John Winsick?
Oh, well,
John,
I trust his
my
thought.
dad. No, ask him.
What'd your dad say?
Oh, he was so pissed. Of course, like I made They didn't. I would have been a fucking skating disaster. I would have been hitting guys. I was crazy.
Didn't they say the rules were something different or something? I don't know.
But
really?
At that time? In AAA? I mean, I was one
Were you
of
the
them.
best player? Like scorer and everything?
Yeah, I would think so. I was just killing. I would have been a penalty riddled son of a bitch. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't.
Well, you can't hurt the team.
I don't remember, dude. Who knows?
You can't hurt the team.
I do remember being like rattled after that. You know, I was guaranteed all your buddies are on it. I'm the only one that didn't make the team out of all the players. I was the only one. Like it was kind of weird, but that was good for you though, man. Like I need to get smacked in the fucking face, you know, by two pro athletes, two fucking ex-Blue that said no, you're not good enough. And my dad was like, "What?" And I'm like, "What?" And then like it just wakes you up a little bit. Do something better. Like you need to be better than, you know.
What stood out from Barry Trotz?
He's down to earth as shit. It's like talking to a buddy of yours. Like all these coaches sometimes have to be like, he's just fucking cool.
I told you, man, we were at the draft in Vancouver at a bar.
Yeah.
And he happened to be there with a couple of Washington Capitals people at the time, even though he had just left Washington.
Yeah.
He was a coach of the Islanders at the time, actually, already.
Yeah.
And he and my wife, dude, they talked forever, dude. He could not have been. He wasn't.
It always happens, eh? Andy's always
No,
has,
no,
always talking to Andy's wife.
No. We were talking first.
Yeah.
I brought the wife
I'm just
over,
fucking with you, dude.
and we're like in Vancouver, and the draft was the next day, and he's showing her on his phone where to go shopping and do this and do that.
Did they hang out that night?
No. But then the next day I got on the bus.
Yeah.
He slides right over.
Isn't that nice? He was nice to you.
He slides right over. Do you know that one time I got on the bus with the Blues? He probably doesn't even remember this. You know who slid over and told me I could sit right there?
The equipment trainer?
No. Bert? No. Doug Armstrong. He's like, dude, you can sit right here.
That was nice.
And that goes a long way, Cam. You know that.
Fuck yeah.
I don't need everyone to be nice to me all the time because I know they've got a lot on their mind.
No shit.
And I know they got an important job and they got responsibilities. I'm not one of those that like needs, every time so-and-so walks by me, I need him to say hi and smile and be like, what's going on? Dude, I don't need that shit.
If you don't say hi to somebody that you know when you walk by.
Yeah, but maybe there's like in the middle of thinking about something.
Maybe.
Or, you know, it's like maybe it's in the middle of the game.
Yeah, we're all going through shit.
I know.
Oh, you're better than me. You got more and more important shit. Just say hi if you know me.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, it is fair.
But I just don't. I don't take it personally.
Well, you kind of should. You kind of should. Somebody deliberately doesn't say hi to you. You're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I don't like
You're
that.
goddamn right.
Yeah, there's true. Listen, every case is different. Every situation is different. I'm just saying, every situation is different.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
If I walk in here and Brody just say hi to me, I'm like,
well,
what
that
the fuck,
be
Brody?
Cool.
Oh, God, help me. God.
Brody never says hi. Brody,
no, he doesn't say
never
anything.
says hi to me.
He just does
He doesn't
shit.
say anything.
Hey, if I call Brody, he answers before it even
Somebody the other day. Oh, the other day.
He answers it before
me too.
It even
no, you ever have him answer,
rings.
but you hear it ringing in the background?
Best
no,
thing
he
in the world.
answers
I
the
love
phone,
that.
but you hear it ringing.
Brody, just so you know, that is the best feeling in the world. When I know,
Hey,
tweet this out. Help me with that.
Brody doesn't even know because people who like talk to me about the podcast name drop Brody. They know about Brody, who doesn't even say hi to me and doesn't even like talk to me.
I'll walk in here, doesn't say hi to me.
No.
But when I call that motherfucker,
he answers that fucking phone.
What's up? And he's on it.
And he eats your like leftovers. That's all I know about
Oh,
him.
I'll give him food.
He doesn't look at me. He doesn't say hi to me. Doesn't talk to me. But he eats your food or my food.
We're gonna interview Brody. I think Brody. People were curious about Brody. He's just always been.
He's just like
outside of everything. He never is in the spotlight with us.
Imagine a big plant sitting in the living room.
Jesus, Brody. That's
that
fucking
that doesn't talk and never moves.
What does that mean?
No, I'm just saying it's just a big plant, like over here, and it just hadn't moved.
Plant.
It doesn't move. It doesn't.
Jesus,
it's just there.
Andy. He's on a fucking plant. Good God.
A big plant.
Brody does a lot for the podcast.
Yes,
Shit that you guys appreciate and you don't even know. But he doesn't say hi to me when I walk in here.
Me either.
But goddamn,
I thought it was just
if I call Brody, he answers it. I mean, it's just like I know he's going to answer.
Cam will leave to go to the bathroom, then Brody goes, and I'm like, okay, well, it's okay. Brody's not going to say anything anyway.
Hey, sometimes I won't pick up my phone when you call though, because I'm sound asleep with a nap.
Hey, you know that's unacceptable.
Fuck that.
You need to answer your phone.
Dude,
If
my
I
buddy's shut down.
If I call, you answer the phone.
I always do, but sometimes I'm just like, I'm sleeping. I got to take naps, dude.
Barry Trotz is the man. Where should he coach next? Would you like him in Toronto, or would you not?
How much money's he got?
I bet you he's made $2 to $2.5 million a year minimum.
40 million
minimum for the last 20 years.
I think he's got probably 15 million in the bank.
15, 20. Enough to rehab that hair
I'm
salon.
Can I tell you what I would do if I was him?
Okay.
I'd take care of my family and I'd kick my goddamn feet up. And I would do radio hits on ESPN or whatever the fuck. And I would sit in my fucking Nashville house and I'd buy a goddamn farm now that he's a handyman. Mm-hmm. And I'd have horses and I'd take care of my daddy. And I'd have a fucking cool
Would
thing.
You have Garth Brooks over?
I'd have people taking care of everything in my fucking house. And I'd manage it the right way. And I'd do little things. And I'd have a cool little oasis in a little farmland outside of Nashville.
Hey.
And do what the
Can I throw something out there?
I want.
Can I throw something out there?
Yeah.
I think I may have thrown this out as a rumor months ago. Brody can remind me.
What?
Barry Trotz, someone had told me that there was some talk about him potentially becoming like a GM with Nashville when he went back. Cool. And I asked him about that on the podcast.
Nashville. I wouldn't leave Nashville.
I think, listen, and hey, it's no secret where he's at right now. He went back to Nash.
Dude, he's lived everywhere. He's lived in every kind of
and
corridor.
He's like, I'm living in Nashville.
Figure that out.
Okay,
you live in the Midwest.
So he didn't like rule it out of the idea of jumping in as an executive. Future Hall of Famer David Poile. He's been there for a long time. I'd like to see them actually like do something though. Like they got to like win.
You got to kind of win.
They've been to a final with PK dancing. You think it was PK's preseason workouts that got him to the final? You ever seen his workouts?
Crossovers? No, I think I'm not gonna. I already bash him enough. Like I'm not doing it.
Why are you bashing him?
Because he got annoying.
He had a great career.
Yeah, I know, but he got annoying as shit.
So wherever, hey, and you know what? Barry Trotz, he said it, man. The idea of coaching an original six team.
That'd be kind of cool.
So
he's just getting old.
Let's think about what original six openings could be there, Cam.
I know.
Detroit, no. Lalonde is doing a hell of a job.
I just think
with all of the former Blues, isn't that amazing? Sundqvist, Husso, and
they got the biggest line in the NHL, by the way. The Red Wings do.
Those dudes, 6'8" and 6'6".
Who's the big? Is Sonny? Who are the other two cats?
Those big
fucking
ass
gigantic
What's that
line.
6'8" dude, man.
Gigantic line. They get the biggest line in the league.
Scored a second goal of the year.
I'm rooting for them.
Me too.
Fuck that. I like them.
I like them, and I love their uniforms.
I like Ottawa. So all you Ottawa fans out there that chirp me, like
I love Ottawa.
I like your team.
Hey, I've always said Ottawa's my favorite team in the league.
We love DJ.
Brady's putting up points. Matthew Tkachuk, by the way. Hey, say what you want. Listen,
I like Matty.
Calgary, I think is good. I mean, they are good.
Yeah,
but if you're Florida, you do that trade all day long.
I know.
Man.
I know.
And maybe Calgary says the same thing.
Who else do I like, by the way?
I
like Boston right now because of Jimmy
too.
Montgomery, man.
Yeah.
I'm rooting
and,
for
and
your
they're,
fucking
and,
ass.
they're still missing a couple guys.
Yep.
I like trades that happen that it's a win-win for everybody. You know, where both teams win.
Well,
It
that's
doesn't
what
have
Army
to
said
be.
when we had him on.
It doesn't have to be so
Yeah.
lopsided.
No, I know.
Like you look
because
at
no one wants to do business with you. That's
No.
your mindset.
like everyone was like, remember here in St. Louis, they're like, oh my God, the Blues just fleeced Buffalo.
At the time, but it always turns
You're
out
like,
differently.
what? This dude Tage is a hell of a player. You just
You see
wait.
that goal he had the other night?
He's sick, dude.
Dude, he's walking cats.
I know he is.
easily, and he's big.
He's got that cockiness too. I know. I've
He's
been
starting
trying
to
to
get a little
get.
tougher too. I think.
He is a little bit. Oh,
Like,
his
he's
daddy's tough.
I bagged him up.
I want to get Jeff
Might have to
Skinner
find that
on,
on,
but like
YouTube.
we may have to get Tage. He might be. We're gonna get his.
No, he
ass
was the
on,
worst
too.
interview I've ever done.
Tage was.
I got him
Tage.
early.
I've
with my
interviewed
radio.
him several times.
Fuck, was he fucking terrible?
Well, he was
And this would be
different back then.
this one. He's in the minors.
It
I
was
got him on.
different back then.
He was so far. I go, hey man, no, all right, it's all good. He was a kid. It doesn't matter.
Dude, he's got a top 5
I go, I beat your daddy up. He's like,
release
okay.
in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good, man. He's big.
And
too.
my boy Donnie.
Donnie Granado. Yeah, we had him on.
Yes, we have.
We need to get Jack Eichel on.
I like Vegas, man.
Although it has nothing to do with Buffalo right now, but I just keep tying them together. It'd be nice to have him on.
I don't mind Vegas. When they're on, I watch. I will say that about Vegas.
Yeah, they're
some
entertaining.
teams I don't like watching. Florida
Dallas
used
is
to be
it.
one of them, but I've liked Florida the
Yeah, I
last
like him
couple of
now.
years.
Fuck, if Matthews out there, I'm watching.
Oh, that
You
game with
fucking
Tampa
kidding
Bay
me?
the other day, I loved it.
That was a great game. Great game.
He goes after Kucherov at the end. He just brings some
Keiichi.
he just gives everybody else a little more balls, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know. It's like I give you more balls.
You got to play with balls, Cam.
Oh, really? Oh, let me write that down real quick. Andy told me to play with balls. Okay, we're good.
Guys that don't play with balls, man, I would not want on my team.
I mean, he's
You got to have some internal
yeah. Fuck
What's
yeah.
the
Tell the
word?
people. Andy, tell the people how to be
fortitude,
tough.
internal fortitude.
Tell the people how to be tough.
I'm just saying, dude.
I
It's
know.
not about tough. It's like compete. Like
It is tough.
some
It's all
swagger,
It's all the same. Like you're
Swag.
tough. You're mentally tough. You're physically
yeah,
tough.
but like
You're-
Ryan
you
O'Reilly's
go after
not
the
like
puck, you're
tough, but he
what do I tell
but he
fucking Ty to
he
do?
battles his ass off.
I know. What do I tell Ty? You're like, well, I want him to sit out a little bit. No, go get it. Go get it. Push guys out of the way. Who gives a shit? That's your puck. Who gives a fuck about anybody else right now? Go get the damn puck and protect. Don't let anybody touch it. Get away from people. Push them out of the way. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. Just like he did. Don't sit back. Go be tough. Push guys out of the way. Who gives a shit? That's your puck. Don't let anybody get it. That's yours. That's what you need to preach to him.
I do.
And then once he gets a little bit older, then be like,
do.
now you said they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I do.
Go get it. And then kick your head up and be like, look for somebody. Or take it right to the net. Push people out of the way. Who gives a shit? God damn. Don't make me give him puppet
Jammer
speeches,
told
man.
me, don't be screaming when your kid has the puck about like pass it.
Go,
and,
let him do it.
and like it gets
Exactly.
the kid all panicky.
No. Oh.
It's like, dude, trust me. Like when they get to 10 or 11, and they're like, the good players know how to
They
pass
know
the
by
puck.
then.
They know how to
They
find
need
guys.
to go get it first and know how
And
to
just
handle it.
Skate with it.
Skate with it. And once he gets to say, go.
Pass it.
How about
pass
just say,
it.
no, no.
I'm like, oh my god,
Just say
settle down.
go. No, that's other
You're
parents.
giving me like a
No, no.
anxiety attack.
That's what the dipshit other parents do.
Yeah.
That if you're, I'm gonna give a little shit. If you're yelling pass to a kid at that age, when he goes and gets the puck, because your kid's too lazy to get the puck, and you're the parent of the kid that's lazy, and you tell the other kid to pass shut the fuck up. Tell your kid to go get the puck instead.
What if the other kid's wide open in front? I don't know.
Man, they're not there yet. Andy, they're not there
No,
yet.
they're not.
Ty's not there yet. They don't even know that
I like
yet.
how he says they're not there yet now, but he thinks they should be like tying their own skates.
I don't know that part of it.
I mean, like, dude, they're 6. You're right. They're not there.
I don't know
You got
that
half
part.
of it right, yet you think he should be like tying his own shoes and
No,
skates.
I know because I'm looking at your hands and
Doesn't
how
work
small they
like
are. You
that.
probably can't tie your shoes right now, so I get that. I didn't know that aspect of it.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
sorry.
that's true.
But I know
that's
the
why
other.
you're taking them to
Sorry.
practice.
Anything else I'm saying that's wrong?
No, that's it.
Okay.
But that's why you need to take him to practice.
All right, that's fine, and I will tie his skates. I'll take care of him.
But they got-
And he might not want to leave my house.
But it's
afterward.
you see that skating, you see the crossovers, you see the little evolution of like the young hockey player, man.
But I don't like the parents who pass the puck. No, they're not. Tell your kid to go get it instead. They're still in that fucking. They're not doing
Pass,
that.
pass.
No, shut up. Shut up.
That's what I used to yell when I was playing safety freshman year when the other team would drop back for a pass. You yell pass, Cam, to let everyone know that it's a pass play.
Andy, they all pass towards you. Like, Jesus.
3 interceptions. 3 inners. Hey, don't make me.
Hey, when I do shit, Brody clips it off and posts it.
Stats
when I rock
don't lie.
a guy from Windsor and I knock guys fucking stupid and I take my jersey off and flex like I brag about, that actually happens.
Stats don't lie.
We don't have anything from you. So anytime I brag about things on here, we could look it up and clip it off, and it's perfectly in sync with what I said.
Don't lie.
There's nothing that adds up with what you said.
I'm gonna pull out my freshman stats.
Andy, if you post a clip of something, I will retweet. You'll never retweet anything I do that's cool. Andy will never retweet it unless it has something to do with him. If Andy had a clip of like what I posted the other day, if there was a clip of Andy doing anything awesome, I would retweet it 50 times.
I think
over.
I did.
He never would do that for me
on Instagram.
You never would ever do that. It was on Twitter. You'll never do that for me if it pumps me
I'll
up.
do it right
but
now.
if there was something about you, I would have retweeted it 50 fucking times over. That's the difference. If it has nothing to do with Andy, he won't do it. Won't do it. That's a fact.
Can you end on a nice note?
No, because you're chirping. And I'm like, well, you know what? Like, you're bragging about yourself. I'm like, I actually post things, and you don't even touch it. Like, you don't care. I'm like your business partner.
You took me down that road.
Like, I'm your business partner.
You took me down that road.
With what?
The football stats.
No one talked about your football, dude. No one talked about that.
Barry Trotz was good, eh?
He was really good, man. I like him a lot.
I hope you enjoyed that.
I did. That was a good get, by the way.
And happy Halloween to everyone out there.
Yeah.
Because Halloween's coming.
Monday,
it's around the corner.
Monday.
Should kids be off school on a Tuesday?
No.
After Halloween?
No. This is what they should do.
Halloween should change.
This
Don't
Saturday,
have it October 31st?
No. Have it on that
Really?
Saturday. Yeah, it doesn't need to be. What does that mean? Have just like Thanksgiving. Have it on that.
Didn't somebody like die on Halloween or something that we're recognizing on that day?
I don't.
Are we recognizing somebody for Halloween?
That's actually a really, really good question.
There's a reason why they chose October 31st, dude, back in the day.
It doesn't matter.
Something happened, Cam.
If we don't know, it doesn't mean that much anyway.
Jeffrey Dahmer's. Are you watching
it was Jeffrey.
Are you watching that show?
I already know enough.
I don't have it in me to watch.
I already know enough about him. I don't need to watch
that.
I don't need to watch. I like the actor that plays him, but I already know everything about. I don't need to see play-by-play of him raping a bunch of fucking dude.
Do we? No.
I don't need to see that. I already read. I know everything about.
Read about it.
Oh, I've known about him
what a
since
psycho.
Oh,
See, you fill your brain with all this useless information.
Is that useless to know what
about
criminals do?
him? Well,
what do you fill your shit with? Draft choices and shit? Dude, at least I know what's going on politically. At least I have an opinion on everything what's going on. I have an opinion on climate change. You don't know fuck from shit. You'll read a little thing in your little fucking nerdy neighborhood from Creve Coeur Racket Club. Some little nerd group's like, this is what I think. Yeah, Green New Deal. And you're like, I like the Green New Deal. Why is that, Andy? Creve Coeur Racket Club.
Hey, you want to know what I do now?
What?
Hair Club, baby.
Oh, yeah. You do it?
No. I might need to one day. It's fine. No, I think by this stage, it is what it is. It probably won't get any worse.
Yeah, but you're on TV still all the time.
Yeah.
So if you're going to want that.
I might.
Because if you want to try to be on TV and be a bald guy, like Panger's one thing, Panger's like a different category.
People are telling me to like color my hair and stuff.
I think you look fine with the gray.
Not into it, dude.
I think you look fine with the gray.
I think it looks more unnatural when it's colored.
You could color that. It's easy to do. It doesn't. You look fine.
I don't have time.
Yeah, you do. It takes 2 seconds. Go.
That's if you do the stuff
Andy's
at home.
bitching about color. Meanwhile, people have cul-de-sacs in the back of their fucking head.
That's when if you do want to do it at home. I'm not doing that at home. I'd have my French Canadian hairdresser do it. She's very nice.
Oh yeah, I bet. She's smoking hot.
Probably back in the day.
I can't go to hot chicks, man, because my hair looks like shit. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, just don't be
Let's go to old men.
Hairclub.com, though, Cam. Again, hairclub.com/Cam and Strick. That is the landing page. And you'll save hundreds of dollars. Restore, replace, and regrow that hair.
Hell yeah.
First Form. Nick, First Form.
Nick, don't put that jersey on the ground. What are you doing?
Nick, don't wear a helmet.
No, stop it, dude. Nick's going to be like, oh, fuck, I'm going to be fucking Craig McTavish. No, you're not, Nick. Put a goddamn helmet on. Trust me, like, you don't want to bang your head. Your hair looks too good. Like, stop. Just be safe. Get that jersey off the ground now.
And take them
Hey.
vitamins, too.
Oh, dude, I took the brain vitamins this morning.
How do you feel you're doing with that?
I feel great. Like you know how I do.
Well,
weekends
I
are
don't
long
know.
for me. I got a long weekend.
When does the weekend start, Cam?
Friday, and then
Wait.
Kate and I got down with it, and
On the 7th
I was-
hole? Is that what you're talking
yeah,
about?
I know. It was very embarrassing. I'm like, Kate,
I hope
not-
there's no surveillance.
I always think
That's
there's always
kind of a ticket waiting
I
to
always think
happen.
somebody's. I'm like, what am I doing?
I know. What are you doing there? Do you live right there?
She forced the
Just
issue.
go inside the house.
That's what I said. But sometimes you just got to cater to
Where
your
are the
woman.
dogs during all this?
Fucking locked in her crate. No.
You don't leave
Once
them
it's
running
sexy
around
time,
the house?
Once it's sexy time, I put the animals all away.
Really?
They're the biggest turnoff. I cannot see an animal, even fucking Boo Boo. Meow, meow, meow. Get out of here.
Really?
You're going downstairs.
Do you know
cat.
that I haven't put Blay in the crate
I put the dog
in
if
forever?
I'm getting down with Kate, if we're doing our thing, I'll put them away. I'll put fucking blankets over their crate so I can't see them. We'll go upstairs and put light candles in a different room.
Cool.
Boo Boo, you ain't going near me either. I'll lock her downstairs. Like enough's enough. Shut all the windows. We gotta get down with it. You know. You gotta get. I don't do it all the time.
Look at this thing.
He's a cute dog,
Isn't he?
malnourished but cute.
He is not malnourished.
It's not good to talk about how cute your dog is with a photo on the podcast. They can't see the photo. Like this is. I see he's cute. Andy, he's a fucking golden doodle. Everybody has a golden doodle. Everybody in your neighborhood has a golden doodle. Everybody at the Creve Coeur Racket Club has a golden doodle. You got
He
a golden
sleeps
doodle.
on my wife.
Yeah, I know. That's what golden doodles do. They're a normal dog that everybody has. Like he's bragging, look at my golden doodle. Like it's a fucking like dire wolf or something. It's a fucking golden doodle. Everybody
What does
has
that
one.
mean?
It means that you're just normal. You're a normal person. You do what other normal people do. You get a golden doodle.
This is what they wanted?
Why don't you fucking
And-
rescue a dog?
No, because I didn't want to have any shedding.
Okay.
But I will rescue a dog and give it to somebody else who needs it. Oh, but I
And
mean,
give it to a person. What does that
Cam,
mean?
I had a German
That's a stupid
Shepherd
thing
for
to say.
15 years, white German Shepherd with hair everywhere.
I know. But it's just like you're bragging about a goat. Like,
So I am not dealing
it's
with
like, it's
it.
just and I know why you get one because you're good with kids and stuff. but
Check
it's
out
like
the
you're bragging about it. It's
First
like,
Form apparel, by the way.
I loaded.
It's not
up.
just the vitamins and the
Can I-
bars,
They need.
the energy drinks, which I will never live without.
Oh my god, so damn good.
Lifetime supply.
What do
of
I got
those.
here? I got the beef fucking no, the pork stick.
Dude, I gave Ty a beef stick before practice
So
yesterday.
good. It's easy to eat.
Yeah,
It fills you up.
I give it to him before
It
practice.
fills you up, and it's not. It doesn't stuff you, but it gives you protein.
Get
It's
your
good.
beef sticks today. Get them on our page, firstform.com/Cam and Strick. That's where you get your beef sticks and everything else you need.
Right.
Firstform.com. CarShield, baby. CarShield.com. Mention that promo code Cam, which is very embarrassing. But I'm telling you to do it, man. I wouldn't recommend it if it wasn't going to help you, man. So I care about the people. CarShield.com. Say hi to Nick.
What up, Nicky? Bye.
And Steve and everybody else over there, man.
Stevie,
Great
bye.
commercials. Keep putting out the content. But again, get your protection. Get your protection today. 800-857-2481. CarShield and CarShield.com.
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
Waggle Golf. Get your waggle on.
Yeah.
If you're going to golf, do it in style. Yeah, I go to the golf course, Cam, and people are
There you
like,
go.
well, is that waggle golf?
Dude, I love my shit, man. I look good.
That's what they say to me. What do they say to you?
You're not very good at golf, but you look good. And I'm like, oh, cool.
Cam, they say, they're like, the hole's
There's
over
no
there.
they with you, though. Like,
the
you're
hole,
not around
the hole
anybody.
is over there.
Fucking Peelsy.
You don't even know where the
Don't
hole
get
is.
Peelsied.
Hashtag don't get Peelsy, but get your waggle on.
Yeah.
Waggle Golf, proud
least I
sponsor
look good when
of
you
the
film
Cam
me.
and Strick podcast. Sparks Skate Sharpeners, SPARX. Mention the promo code Cam and Strick, and you're going to save lots of money, more money than you're going to save on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, your two favorite holidays.
God.
Black Friday?
Black Friday.
Who goes
Go
to
fuck
those
yourself.
places?
God.
We should do a show live from there.
From where?
Reporting live
The
at
mall?
12:01 a.m. We're
The
live
mall?
at Best Buy.
I don't need anything.
People are elbowing each
I
other.
just don't need anything.
What? I just
don't
have
have kids.
Thanksgiving. I got to leave my house.
I don't have kids. I don't need.
By the
Keith
way,
and I have
Cam,
everything.
my mashed potatoes, I think I told you this last year. They are award winning. I'm going to give you my recipe. I won't give you the recipe, but I'm going to bring some in for you to try live on the show.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
I'll make sure they're nice and warm.
People
still.
will be going crazy for those.
Of course they will.
They'll
Hey,
love
if you
that.
want my
They'll love that
special
show.
Strict Nasty, I'll do a video of it, actually.
Yeah.
Me making it.
Oh my God, do that, dude. Be sick.
secret ingredients.
You have a boring palate. You have a palate of a fucking 7-year-old.
It's not true.
You do.
I find that very offensive.
You should.
GetYourWaggleOn.com. Say hi to Travis.
Hi.
Waggle Golf, baby. Hey, again, get those hats and get it today. They're available at camonstrick.com. Bellman.com. Danny Boy. Again, I'm getting messages saying what a great experience they had. I sent it to Danny, and you know he appreciated that. I appreciate any of our listeners who are going and supporting our sponsors, including Bellman Automotive, Buick GMC on one side of the street in Troy, Missouri.
I want a
the
Buick.
other side, it's Cadillac, or excuse me, it's Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram on the other side in Troy, Missouri. Bellman.com. Get your Cam and Strick hats. Get them for the holidays. Get them for any holiday. It's good for any day of the week. CamandStrick.com. Check out our website. You miss any other previous episodes, you can check them out then and there.
Hell yeah, man.
This has been Barry Trotz, not to be confused with Bruce.
No shit. Poor guy.
He'll be behind an NHL bench before too soon, although he could be a general manager. Who knows what's in the
whatever
future.
He wants to do.
This guy will do whatever you... Bruce, you do whatever
Takes
you
care
want.
of his family first, and that's cool as shit.
Isn't that...
Yeah.
What does that say about him?
He's a fucking good dude. He's a really good guy, man. I like him a lot. I really do.
Me too.
I want him on the podcast as the third wheel. We told him, man.
I guess our analyst.
It's like, what's up?
Bruce, your thoughts on the Rangers?
We're calling him Bruce because you're fucking me up now.
Barry.
It's Barry. I called him Bruce at the end.
You know I didn't mean to call him Bruce there.
I know you didn't.
I wasn't even thinking
I
that.
didn't mean to
and
call
now
him.
I'm doing it.
I didn't mean to call him
I got to
Bruce.
stop saying that.
Stop doing it,
I didn't do that on purpose, dude.
I know.
Barry, your thoughts on the Rangers?
Hey, well, let me tell you something. He's cool, man.
Oh,
I can't even,
he's telling
I forgot.
stories. He's like, hey, I got a story for you about Bruce.
All right. What's up?
I like people who come on and they're like ready to roll.
They know
dude.
exactly.
He knows what's up.
Oh, sorry, we're bothering you. You know what
Yeah.
you're getting into. Like, he's ready for it. I like that, man.
Like some people who come on and they're
And the
just
birds
like,
were chirping. I love all that, dude. He's probably in this cool little...
Dude, he's got a bird sanctuary
I
up
know.
there. I felt like I was there right
He
next
just-
to him.
He just has
with
birds
the
in
birds.
his backyard.
No, bird sanctuary.
He just has birds in his
I'm going to call you from my house in the mornings, dude. You'll hear the birds. I got tons of birds by my house.
God,
Dude.
I know.
Yeah.
Badass. You got a school. You get to hear the fucking school bell.
Oh, dude, come on. You know that school's way back, and it's private.
Yeah, but it's still in your... You could see...
I have a very private backyard.
I love your backyard. For where you live, you got the cutest lot in your whole subdivision, and that's
question.
the best thing you need. That for selling, you picked
Yes.
out the best house in your fuck. I'll give you that right goddamn now.
Okay, well, thank
Although
you.
your subdivision, the people that live there are goddamn nerdy.
That is not... You can't say that about these people. All right. This has been the Cam and Strick Podcast with Barry Trotz.
Love you guys.
Happy Halloween.